Hello and welcome to our coverage of the Brazilian Free Fire League, coming to you live and direct from the city of São Paulo in Brazil. My name's Johnny Cougar, and I'm so very thrilled to be doing this Brazilian Free Fire. We had some fantastic games yesterday afternoon with the SS Esports really throwing down the gauntlet, showing everybody who's boss. We've got some more top action from the Brazil Free Fire League coming up very shortly. 6 more exciting games, 6 more battle royales coming up. But before then, let me introduce you to our Free Fire expert and former professional player, Carol Bombshell.
Hello everyone, it is such a pleasure to be here with you all today once more again, starting this FFBL Season 4, which is on fire. It's on fire. The players are here to do some action, to get some kill points, and today we got Group C playing on, and we got a lot of expectations on them.
Well, SS Esports, as I said, really went to town, winning 3 straight games in a row, which is something that's never happened before in the Brazilian League. They set new records. Carol, what was so special about SS Esports?
Well, the fact that they had so much confidence in each other. They trust their squad skills, and they actually takes a lot of practice to do that. They practice every day, I would say like 24/7, And so if you're a new player, John, you have to dedicate yourself every day. Listen to your team squad and, of course, trust yourself. And it's also important, really important, to know what's the gun. You have more abilities, you know how to manage. Like yesterday I said, I'm not really good with a double N, like any kind of snipers, and also with the grenade launcher I'm really bad, but I'm really good with other guns, John.
Well, that's very nice to hear. I'm not very good at anything at all in Free Fire. I thoroughly admit that. Carol is the expert. Stay with us because she's going to be giving you more top tips and hints of how to become a better team, to become a better player, or even, Carol, how to become a professional player. We're going to talk about your route to glory during these next battles, these 6 games. We've got the 3 maps, 6 games, of course. This is part of the Brazilian National Free Fire League. A long way to go. We've got coverage all the way until April, in fact, and 2 bouts, 2 drops. Saturday, Sunday for the next few weeks, and then we will switch perhaps to Fridays as well as Saturdays and Sundays coming up later on in this league. But a lot of action to come. As you said, we've got teams this afternoon from A and C. We've seen the sides from A in action. We know how good Esports are. We saw Vivo Keyd. Vivo Keyd coming late in the last 3 games in particular. How much of a threat will they be?
Yeah, so actually I hope they watched the yesterday match and they are aware of all the dangers and all the the slaughters the teams from Group A did yesterday, because they really went good, especially SS team, like we were talking about. Because I don't know if you know, John, but SS team, they had broke the record by doing 3 booyahs in a row, and that's excellent. That's spectacular. So last season, Santos, who is in the Group C today, was the team with more sequence of booyahs. And yesterday, SS Sports team proved they can do best, and actually that is what they've been showing us so far. Great teamwork and a good position and a lot of kill points.
I was about to say, what is the secret? Why were they so effective?
Well, I would say like the teamwork. They trust each other. This is the most important thing. You have to trust your teammate. You have to listen to them and carefully get a good positioning on the map. And I think the best advice I could give you is to listen to each other. This is the best thing you can do.
Listen to each other, and of course kill your opponents. That always helps.
And survive until the very last end. That's the point.
Or more tips coming from our former professional player, Carol Bombshell, as this tournament gets underway. So we've got the sides. We've talked about SS Esports, who could be the team to beat Vivo Keyd. We'll talk about the teams, the new teams that we haven't seen. What do you think they learned from watching yesterday's games?
For sure, they learn this is no one's game and anything can happen. And of course, we're gonna watch now the next things coming up.
Video's about to start right now. In fact, we'll look at those groups. So we're seeing Group A in action. We know what they're all about. Group C, with names such as Santos, Esports, and God, or Goji. Team Liquid, Red Kalunga, Meta, and Pain. What can we expect from those sides?
For sure. We got a lot of expectations on Metagame because they came from all the way from Serie B, and they are not usually like Team 1 yesterday. They didn't win really good yesterday. They were the top bottom of the week. Like as we can see here, Team 1 yesterday, they only scored 24 points, and Metagame have to do a lot better because they also came from Serie B, which is a new ground for them. They should be aware of these players.
So this league table here is going to look a bit weird because you will have teams who have played in 2 rounds of action. The sides who have points on the board, and then the teams below them, of course, who have not played any games so far. So it's going to take a little while for the table to start to balance up. But as we said, SS Esports, the team to beat, and Vivo Keyd not far behind, of course. They're closing in. They came up strong in the last 3 games. And the games and the maps, of course, chosen at random. The teams don't know. It's a big surprise for the teams. Before, they were in a set order. Not so now, so more surprises, and teams have to be quick-witted.
Yep.
More videos then with us right now.
Salve, salve família! A LBFF tá de volta e todo mundo fica desde o início do campeonato de olho no título. Mas além da briga por quem vai ser campeão, tem aquela que só os brabos conhecem. Ficar entre os melhores jogadores do campeonato é pra poucos e só dando muita bala pra conseguir estar nessa seleção. Mas como vai funcionar a seleção LBFF? A cada rodada, os casters e analistas escolherão os 4 melhores jogadores da semana, sendo que cada grupo terá um representante por vez que jogar. Dessa forma, se o grupo A jogou 2 vezes no final de semana, terá 2 jogadores escolhidos na seleção da semana, enquanto os grupos B e C terão apenas 1 cada. Nas 2 últimas semanas de fase de classificação, teremos 3 dias de jogos. Então aqui teremos um representante de cada grupo para formar a seleção da semana. O 4º membro será o 2º jogador mais votado entre os nossos casters, independente de qual grupo estiver. Justo, né? No final da competição, todos os jogadores e técnicos poderão votar nos melhores do campeonato, dentre os que estiveram pelo menos em uma seleção da semana. Os 18 técnicos também concorrerão ao título, daí os mais votados formam a seleção LBFF. A comunidade ainda vai poder votar no brabo da galera, e o MVP vocês já sabem, né? É por número de abates, aquele que foi o mais apelão durante o campeonato e fez a limpa nos mapas. E aí, tá pronto para essa disputa de gigantes, amigo? Então aperta o cinto e se prepara, que a decolagem vai ser autorizada.
Well, there you go. Some of what we can expect during this league championship, live and direct from Brazil. The Brazil Free Fire League coming up. The action with us very, very shortly. We saw a look at some of those sides, and we look at the way perhaps we will see the MVPs, even including the best coaches. Coaches, Carol, we saw a little bit older than the players.
Yeah, the coaches are really important. They are fundamental to the team because they can look, they have a better vision of course the other teams and their team themselves. So that's really important to have a coach, and also you have to listen very carefully to your coach because they got the knowledge.
Is it a question sometimes where the coach knows best, or is it a question when the individual skill of a player can make the difference?
Well, I think both, a little bit of both, so they together, they make a great combo, I would say. But like I said, the coaches, they have the over top view, I would say. You know, they can see the difference between all the teams, they can manage to know things that the players are not seeing at the moment. So it's very important to have individual skills, which is great, which is very important because you don't have the coach the whole time. But it's also really important to listen to your coach because, like I said, they got the knowledge.
And the coaches here in Brazil, do they tend to be ex-professional players?
Some of them, yes, but some of them they work with other electronic games, so they got the experience with FPS games. So yeah, but like I know that K9, which is the code of the Fluxo team, he's a pro player. He's a former player, and he played the first mundial of Free Fire, which is very good, and he played for Vivo Keyd. So he got the knowledge and the experience.
And that's what you need, and we will be talking about that and other things as this tournament gets underway. We've got 6 exciting games coming up very shortly from the Brazilian Free Fire League. We've talked about the sides we saw in action yesterday afternoon. Who might throw surprises from Group C?
We got a lot of teams that can, show great abilities, but I think we can wait great things from God team because last season they didn't have a big they didn't do a very good job, and they surprised a lot of people in the last 9 rounds during the group phase, who helped them to hold in a better position in the scoreboard. So, but this season they bring a very important player, which is Fixa. He came from Corinthians team, and he was actually the captain of the team. So he got the call, he got the knowledge, he got the experience. So we can wait great things from God team. But also Team Liquid, they are very good. The team should be aware of Team Liquid.
And you mentioned Santos.
Yes, Santos come very strong in this competition. They got a little bit of difference, a big losses like MVR. MVR was in the running from the MVP last season, but I'm pretty sure Santos is going to do great today, and Pelé is going to be very proud of them.
I'm sure the great Pelé, the King Pelé, will be watching glued to his telephone or glued to his other mobile device or whatever to see Santos in action. And it is coming up very, very shortly, our first drop. And we've got the 3 maps. We talked about your favourite map. From what you saw yesterday afternoon, what have we seen? What changes have we seen to the rules? We know that the numbers of points for kills has changed. Did you see any tactical changes? Did you see any change in attitude from the players or the teams yesterday?
Yeah, sure indeed, I saw a lot of change. Well, the new rules for sure made a big difference for the first match yesterday, like the new kill points rules. They didn't show, like the teams, they didn't show a lot of about that. Actually, I thought this is going to slow down their games, but made them more hungry for score points, by killing the other enemies. So they are not scared of anything. They came here to do some actions, to join the party, and they are more ready, to survive, to be the last survive and take the victory home.
That sounds like us as well. Fearless this afternoon. We're coming to you live from the mega city of Sao Paulo in Brazil. The action will be starting very, very shortly now. Again, 3 maps, 6 battle royales.
Yeah, we have to remember the maps are not predetermined. So, I don't know, I'm having a vision right now. Maybe the first map is going to be Bermuda. We don't know. But that's my bet.
Bermuda, the old favourite. The old favourite once again. But we saw your predictions didn't quite come true. Maybe you will be better this time round. We're going to have a short break just about now. Well, and we're back, still waiting for our first game here from the Free Fire Brazilian League. It's coming up, though, very, very shortly. And the action will commence. The red hot stuff, I'm pretty certain of that. We had some great games yesterday afternoon, and we're going to have a lot more fantastic action with us very, very shortly from this second round of the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yeah, and actually, John, I really want to talk about more the Group Ace team. We can't forget about the excellent performance of INTZ yesterday, because they haven't done any booyahs on Purgatory map the last season. And happily, their very first booyah of the season was in Purgatory map. I don't know if they are lucky or if they got more confidence. I mean, they changed some couple of players and they adjust a little bit of more strategies, which is really good. That's actually, you have to keep change to keep get more evolution on your game. So that was really good for them.
So the teams who were watching from the lobby yesterday afternoon, Carol, what do you think they may have learnt?
Hopefully they watch it and learn, and they have to stay aware of the consequences if they don't pay attention and don't get a really good position in the game. And you have to quickly, fast, keep calm, and be ready for anything, because anything can happen.
And we said so many times now that SS Esports really laid down the law, knocking out everybody in the first 3 games. They didn't win the next 3. The teams such as Vivo Keyd, they came on very, very strong. So I think it's a question of time as well. Teams need to settle. They need to kind of lose those early nerves.
Yep.
And then they can attack, because we're talking about mostly kids playing these matches from, say, 14, 15 years old to 21. So very young players, very nervous, because there's a lot of money at stake. We haven't mentioned that so far. The prize money for this Brazilian Free Fire League is it's a decent packet for the winners. It's a pool as well, but teams who get to the finals will divide the cash. But for the winners, it's a pretty good prize.
I hope so. Yes, indeed, it is a lot of money, and I hope I can get this big amount of money. I don't know. I told you yesterday maybe I will sign up for the next FFPL next season and get a female team finally, because the girls, they need to be in this competition as well. They are good as the boys are, like many ages here in these competitions, different kinds of ages, even little boys, 16, 15 years old, and so the girls. doesn't matter the age, but they are good as much as the boys are.
And certainly the girls need to get going with Free Fire. We've got all only boys out there in all the teams we've got, which is a little bit of a surprise. But you, Carol, you were a former professional player.
Yes,
So
I was.
you have proven, and there are so many girls, so many talented girls out there as well, watching this, I'm sure, wanting to learn tips and wanting to know, really, how to become a professional player.
First of all, like I said, for you to be a pro player, you have to start to play. But like, really, you have to start to play and learn what is your better strategy, what's the better gun you have to use. You know, you have to know how to manage things and how to rotate in the map and listen to your teammates.
Well, the first game then is coming up right now, and it's Purgatory. Action from the Free Fire Brazilian League, just slightly behind schedule. The overview of the map. You've got the blue zone right at the top. Carol, will you be heading for the blue zone, or would you be steering well clear?
I would stay well clear. You know, I'm not a very bravest player, but when I had my female squad, I really trust my girls. So that's why it's important to listen to your teamwork, team players, and do it the best you can. But actually, John, here on the Purgatory map, yesterday we got a lot of different calls. We got a lot of different drop calls, but today the teams are different because we got Group C, and let's see if they will also have the same calls as Group A from yesterday.
Well, Pain Gaming is the first team we take a look at. All the sides complete. Everybody fit and ready to go here as they move around looking for loot before the action starts. Some of the games we saw, we had very, very early kills. Nobody, of course, wants to go out.
Nope.
Nobody wants to head to the lobby because the first two sides which crash out get 0 points on the board, unless, of course, they've managed to get a couple of kills.
Yep. And yesterday we saw Cruzeiro and Fluxo team disputing the Brasilia drop call, but today we got Pain Gaming also. So let's see if they are brave enough to take this call away from Cruzeiro or Fluxo team.
So you said that you would steer away from the blue zone. You would go where on Purgatory? I know you like the cemeteries.
Probably I will go to the ski lodge because, like I said before, it is a drop call with full of loot and equipment, so you can get full loot with your team, because you can rotate to other series around, which also got a lot of good loot as well. So Skin Lodge is my best advice for you guys.
You're hearing from former professional Free Fire player Carol Bombshell, giving you hints and tips of how to become a better player, how perhaps even to become a pro, and even perhaps, like Carol Bombshell, get your own perfume.
That's funny, Joe. I think you're making fun of me right now because
No way.
of my name.
I would love to get my own cologne, Cougar cologne, if anyone's listening out there. I'm sure they are.
That's very funny of you. But now we are seeing Santos, and I'm pretty sure the King Pelé is watching right now, but Santos definitely had a great performance during Season 3, and they were one of the favorite team to be the winner last season. They actually managed to be in the top 3 of the 3 maps of FFBL Season 3. First in Purgatory, second in Kelleher, and second in Bermuda.
Well, we've got our first bit of action, and everyone is alive and kicking at the moment, but the first rounds have been fired in today's Free Fire League action. This is perhaps, of all the games we've seen so far, this has got to be the quietest start, because we've got those 6 new teams, and of course you've got the experienced players who've had a taste of tournament Free Fire. Will they have the advantage, the sides who played yesterday, or with the other sides who watched them? Maybe they were learning, okay, right, we've seen Esports, we know what they're going to do, we've seen Cruzeiro, we have an idea what they might do. They'll have a full dossier, won't they? They will know.
Yep,
In Purgatory, they did this.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe Santos have an idea what Cruzeiro team is going to do because they watched Cruzeiro yesterday. So they take advantage of this. They are a little bit ahead of them because of that. But we what we can't forget is that Cruzeiro played yesterday, so they are full of confidence today that because they went good, you know. So the teams that played yesterday, they are already like with the feeling. They are ready with the vibe, so they feel more prepared. In the other hand, the other teams watch them, so they are aware of all of the strategy and everything.
And maybe the nerves have gone, I'm sure you know from experience. Of course, you know, that first taste of action, you're very kind of nervous, or people are very, very nervous. Of course, the teams who played yesterday, and this is a bit dodgy, being caught out in the open. You cannot let that happen. Still, all the sides complete. No one has gone down yet.
Yeah.
But it's been cautious, very cautious. We've got a couple of firefights going on, though.
Uh-oh.
And out come the grenades, out come the glue walls, and out comes the weaponry, and we get our first kill on the board. And the bodies are going to start piling up very, very shortly. Cruzeiro, metagaming, in fact, getting that first kill. And the body is already gone. We've got 4 players down all of a sudden. And metagaming looking strong early on.
Wow, they took down the whole Fluxo team. That's very impressive because Metagame is a new team on Serie A. They came all the way from Serie B with great highlights, actually. So that surprised me very, very good.
Well, they're caught out in the open, Fluxo. And as we said, a very, very quiet start. We've got our first team who've headed back to the lobby. They'll be feeling gutted going out so quickly.
They just scored 1 single point because they took down one of the players from Metagaming, but also this is not very good for Fluxo team.
Santos. A kill on the board, but the action here just starting to really go, and Santos. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Pele probably switching off right now.
How you feeling, Pele?
I'm sure he's not that great because his side.
And like we talked yesterday, before come now to join the party because they see that Cruzeiro got a lot of damage. They only got 3 players remaining alive after the battle against Santos. So they are doing their strategy to get what was rest for.
Seeing teams again, Carol, going for the high ground. Is it the cardinal rule, go for the high ground, or could you be effective if you were kind of down the bottom of the hill or in a lower position?
You could be effective if you're on the bottom, but for sure if you are on the high ground, you can have a better view, you know, and you can shoot easily, and you can take down your enemy very easily. But also these guys, they are so talented that they can take down no matter what position they are in.
You've got snipers waiting for opposition players just to stick their heads up from the high ground, and they can get the headshots.
And they are about to send Cruzeiro back to the lobby.
And Cruzeiro in trouble here. Bright start from Cruzeiro, but they might be in for a early return to the lobby as we look at B4. Or B4, if you like. B4 even. 2 kills on the board for them. Everyone complete. This is the overhead shot of the map.
And you can see over there that they only remain alive from Cruzeiro team and Fire Brigade, Cebolinha. They did like a quite a different kind of style of game, but I mean it's very usual to the players because they were just 2 of them alive.
And you got Loud watching and waiting. You do get teams who decide that the best policy for them is to stay out of everybody's way, because the kill points now have dropped to 1, so where you finish in the league is going to give you more points, or where you finish in the round rather. So some teams do like to sit out of the action. Of course, they're not getting much loot, they're not picking up any kills, but it's a tactical game, as we've said before.
Yeah, maybe then they are prioritizing the placement because they really need to have a better placement on the scoreboard. And now we can see Pain Game going heavy on B4 team.
Before we said moments ago, looking quite good, but now under a lot of pressure. And before Payne deciding maybe to just have a few pops and then withdraw. Still, it's just two teams have gone out.
This is going to be a very hard kind of battle because we can see here the danger zone, and the danger zone can disturb this battle right now because if you are in the danger zone, you're probably gonna get killed.
Well, Payne Gaming, nothing on the board so far. This is a dangerous position to be in here because if you get caught trying to get across the river, what is the motivation? Why are teams, we saw it yesterday, one side got absolutely obliterated, all four of them stuck out in the river. What are these teams going, what are Payne Game, what are they trying to get to here?
They probably are trying to go to the middle of the safe zone where the Team Liquid is at. Actually, I remember that from last season, Team Liquid was in this position for a long time, and they scored some booyahs over there. So that's maybe the strategy for Payne Game. They are trying to be in a better position for the next safe zone.
Safe zone, the shrinking safe zone, which forces the action as grenades get thrown here. And the drones starting to come down. It's great, of course, to get the loot from the drones, but you're sometimes exposed. And you have sneaky sides waiting to make the kills. And the action's going to get a little bit dicey here for Red, who might be in a bit of trouble here. They've got very spread out, and Payne trying to use these rocks and the cover and firing off some shots very, very quickly, moving forward and getting those firing shots in.
That's quite a show. Wow.
But
2 against 1.
Came at a cost, though. Time to regroup, and that is a bit dodgy. Jumping on top of that rock, leaving yourself exposed.
Wow.
Firepower is effective. We've talked about some of the weaponry before. Red Kalunga looking a bit menacing, but it's before with 3 kills on the board so far. We're down to 9 sides.
And before is coming to join the party.
And that's probably the best move, but it didn't get very far in their automobile. And of course, we've said it before, it's good stuff. If you can get into a car, you can get away from the action. But this is looking a bit grim for Red here. And up comes the walls. You've got to use your equipment. You've got to use as much cover as you can very, very quickly. But the machine guns are out, and Red Kalunga, that was on the board.
And we say goodbye to Red Kalunga.
Got caught out in the open. Pressure from the likes of Team Liquid and Payne paying off.
And we got here Team Liquid, who was the winner of the first season of Free Fire Brazilian League.
And we have not seen a lot from the sides from Group A so far. This is one of them. INTZ or TZ, if you like.
I was actually expecting more from the Group A because they played yesterday. Like we said, the nervous was a little bit down because yesterday was the first game and they managed to go really well like SS team. So we are waiting great things from them. But the Group C came for the action, and they are coming heavy. They are chasing all the teams, and they are not scared of them.
And Leal 7, a little bit of separation between him and the rest of his side. Now he's a bit exposed because you slow down, and he's going to be fortunate to get across the river quickly to match up with his team.
And Loud keeping being out of the safe zone. I don't know what's the deal with them today, their strategy, but they are not very interesting to have a position so quickly inside of the safe zone. Maybe they are avoiding a lot of battles. They really are prioritizing the last stages of the game to have kill points and a good position on the scoreboard. That's good, but
so not the only team who are out of the safe zone as well. It's been very cautious, perhaps the most cautious game we've seen so far. This is game 7 in total in this week's action, and you can see that zone now starting to shrink at an alarming rate, and the action is going to start to pick up very quickly. We're down to 8 teams, 27 alive. SS Esports have been remarkably quiet.
And we got Cebolinha from Cruzeiro, who is still alive.
God.
Uh-oh.
Exposed here, but managing to get the kills, but not in a great position. And they will need to move forward to get some decent cover. And that is not great, but they're exposed, really. They were not in a good position. And
Meta Game is back to the lobby. The safe zone took the last one back to the lobby.
That is not very good play now, SS
Not
Esports.
really. That's why I avoided to play out of the safe zone.
What happened with the player there? Just lack of concentration?
Maybe he didn't want to give his life for the other team because they will score points over him. So that was a good strategy.
So that perhaps then that was deliberate.
Yeah.
It's not like let's go and try and get some kills. Okay, just die out there and you're not giving points. But the action here is picking up, and SS Esports, well, they have gone. They were very, very quiet in this round. Exceptionally quiet. A team that led the charge for the first 3 games. They've gone out, and I don't think they're going to be amongst the boys. And INTZ have also gone, so 2 more sides from Group A.
Wow. I mean, before they came like for the action today. They came really heavy on the teams today, and we got a lot of expectations on them because the last season they were in the Flamengo team, which was one of the best. They were always on the top 3. So this season maybe they are come for the victory. They want to take the trophy home.
And Cruzeiro could be heading home as well very, very quickly because the firepower is coming down. We're down to 4 sides, 10 players now. Before looking strong, but it doesn't always mean things. Oh, there you go. Bam! The ice wall came up, the equipment came out very, very quickly. 9 players left now, 4 teams in it, so all to play for here, but there's some real firepower coming down from PAL 7, and another kill. Triple kills. And the PAL 7, Bread 7, looking very strong indeed as we switch to God. 5 on the board for them, down to 8 players. It's going to be now or never for these teams. And the first booyah of the day is just around the corner. But who's going to take a Cruzeiro? Go! 3 sides. Another team from Group A has gone. God to the right.
We only have 3 teams alive. Only 1 from Team Liquid. He's by himself. He can do great things.
But although God are moving in. And
kill.
Team Liquid is not in a very good position at all. Who's going to see him off?
Wow, dang.
Very, very quick kills. And down to 2 sides here. Evenly matched. 6 players alive. Who's going to take it? Which team's going to be the most aggressive? I've got another kill on the board. It's another killing spree. And B4 looking very strong here. God perhaps on the bit of a back foot. But who can take it, because we're going to have action right until the very end. The firepower, though, is coming down strong and fast. And Power 7 suddenly got it going and raining down the firepower very quickly. And God could be in trouble here. Another kill, and go! And we've got our first booyah! Well, B4 then. Getting the first booyah of the day. They came off very strong. They timed their killing spree to perfection.
Wow, John, I'm speechless right now. Wow, that was awesome. I mean, before they managed to go so well, they got the best position in the last stages of the game with the last in the last safe zone, and they were taking down every single player. I was like going so, you know, I was going so loud because they were using the grenade launcher, and that's awesome. That's really awesome. Congrats to B4. That was a beautiful booyah for them.
Very, very impressive display. And PAL 7 looking exceptionally good. And we've got our first booyah then. B4, very impressive display from them. What happened? Let's talk about B4 first. What made them so good?
Okay, considering that they were in the Flamengo team last season from FFBL 3, the team lost about 80% of their the kill points because of the part of the player Modestia, Dead God, and Ray. But to replace the players before team, they are count now with the R7 and the pão, which means bread in Portuguese. And these two players, they were between the 16 highest kill points from FFBL Season 3. And the bread, pão, they were scoring a lot of points using the grenade launcher, was extremely awesome. So I think the better strategy for them was to have the middle of the safe zone for them, and they were like they separated the team like 2 and 2, and they were taking care of both sides. So someone came from the left, they take down, and someone they come from the right, they take down as well. And that's a really good teamwork.
Tactically, very good from B4 and Bread, slicing up the opposition.
And now we can see the replays from the last match and the Booyah points for B4 with 27 points. That's a lot of points because of the kill points as well, which is very important. And in the second place we got God, who is the first match of the season with 14 points, Team Liquid in the third place with 11 points. Cruzeiros, who survive in the final stage with 11 points, INTZ with 9 points, and Meta Gaming with 8 points.
And we have to say, what happened to SS Esports here?
Well, that's a really good question, because yesterday was the day for them. But you know, sometimes the other teams, they come better, they are more prepared because they saw the mistakes from the past matches and they try to repair that with it, which is very good. And today maybe is not the day for SS, and because before they came and said we can do best.
Certainly did in the first drop then here this afternoon on Brazilian Free Fire. Got off to a very slow start, as we said, this game. Really cautious, really slow, and then B4 went to town.
And we see here in the 7th place Loud, who was avoiding any kind of battle. They prioritized the placement. They did quite well this match. They end up in the 7th place with 5 points, followed by Red Kalunga with 5 points, SS Sports sadly with 4 points, Pain Game with 3 points, Santos Esports with 1 single point, and Fluxo team with 1 single point. Remember that the 2 bottom teams, they don't score any kind of points, but these 2 points is because of a kill point.
And Carol, the first time as well in 7 matches now over Saturday and Sunday, first time we've seen a player kind of sacrifice himself.
Yep. That was awesome, actually. And that's the spirit, you know. You have to go for it. It's now or never. Go big or go home, John.
But letting himself be killed when he stayed in the danger zone, didn't move back to the safe zone. That's the first time it's happened. Could he have gone for kills, or was that the best strategy?
I think that was the best strategy because he was the only one alive of his team. And if him delivery on his life, I would say, to the other team will score more points for that. So their better strategy is to don't give points for kills for the other team. And
well, there you have it from our ex-professional player, Carol Bombshell. And our first boo then goes to B4. Strong performance from them, especially at the end where they just blew away the opposition.
Yeah, I was definitely here. Especially when I saw the grenade launcher skills, I was like, yes! Please do that, guys, do that. That's awesome. I really like that. I like to see some action. I like to see some slaughter and a lot of blood.
Carol Bombshell, and maybe with telling you, the world out there, that she loves the sight of blood and explosions and grenades.
Just on Free Fire, John. Let's point this out. Just on Free Fire. I'm a really peace and love girl.
If you say so. First booer then today has gone to B4. Commanding performance, and then they timed their killing spree to an absolute perfection. And they really blew out the opposition completely, especially that strong run at the end. We've got more action coming up from the Brazilian Free Fire League very, very shortly. But B4 impressive. Who else impressed us in this first drop?
Yeah, good question, Jones, because I was about to talk about Meta Gaming. Meta Gaming is the new team on the Serie A. They came all the way from Serie B with great highlights, you know, and they were the team with more kill points during the whole competition with 207 points in 71 rounds from Serie B. And they showed the same performance in the Access group, who take them to the Serie A.
The table then, no surprise that SS Esports are top of the league, but not a great performance this time round.
Yeah, they didn't score a lot of points, but they still remain in the very first place with 107 points.
And that is very, very impressive from B4 because already 55 points on the board. Let's remember that SS Esports played 6 drops, 6 games, now 7 games, and B4 with just the 1 game almost, in fact, do have half the total points scored by SS Esports over 7 games.
Yeah, and I would say that because of the kill points. I mean, sometimes we say just only 1 kill point, but because of the match, 7 matches, they managed to get a lot of points, B4 team. And here we can see in the 30th place Cruzeiro Sport with the 67 points. They B4 and INTZ are getting close. INTZ is just only 2 points behind of them, so Cruzeiro should be aware.
More action to come, but a quick break now from us. Welcome back then to the Brazilian Free Fire League action. Then already we've got our first booyah. Congratulations to B4, who showed the other sides who is boss. We've got more action coming up very shortly, Carol. We saw Purgatories out the way. 2 maps to choose from. Your predictions, first of all, which map are we going for?
Bermuda.
Didn't you say that the first time?
I did.
Got a feeling you said Bermuda the first time, so you've got a kind of 50-50 chances. So Carol Bombshell's going for Bermuda. Bermuda, the old favourite. Your favourite, I think many.
Yes, I would say it's my favorite because it's easy to play, because I know this map since the very beginning, since I start to play, so I'm more used to it. So, and I would say all the players, all the teams as well. But let's talk about before, because they had a really great development during this match. Before have yesterday 16 kills in the whole day, and today in the first match they did 15. Just in one single match. How awesome is that? How's impressive is that?
Oh, killing sprees are always impressive, and B4 showed the way. They showed the way to the other sides as well. But yeah, was it a one-off for B4? As you said, their kill rate and their success rate was nowhere near as high on the first day. Have they come back? Have they said, right, these are our mistakes, this is how we're going to get better? Or was it just a bit of luck?
No, I would say they fixed their mistakes, and probably their coach talk about something like we were talking about the individual skills and the coach skills. So probably the coach watched the whole thing and told them about, you know, their mistakes and what they have to do. Because yesterday I don't remember to watch before in a lot of the middle of the safe zone, and today they just they were there, you know, the whole time, and they managed to have the whole thing for themselves. And now also yesterday the MVP list was with lots of SS Sports players, but today we got in the first place with 5 kills B4 team, in the second place with 4 kills B4 team as well, who is Kawelok, and in the and coming up with in follow up with only players from B4 team. And we in the MVP list we don't have any other players besides B4 team, so they did really good this last match.
So up comes our second map of the afternoon from the Brazilian Free Fire League, and well, there you go, you got it wrong again. You went for Bermuda. I'm afraid to say it's Kalahari. So maybe perhaps third time lucky when it comes to map choice. What is so special about this map?
I like to say Kalahari is the hardest map because it's a little bit hard, but I mean, this doesn't make any sense, I know, sorry. But this map, it got a lot of high grounds. I like to say about high grounds because the players feel more confident to use the snipers during the game, you know, and they use the AWM, the M2OB gun, which is the newest sniper rifle. But it is mostly because of the top overviews and places with less loot, so that can also make a little bit of difficult for the players. They have to go over a lot of places. They have to rotate to a lot of cities to get loot, and they end up to facing off other teams.
Tricky map for a lot of players. Yet to really get to grips with this newest map. So B4 then, the side who really laid down the law as we see them here. So we've got to keep a proper eye on them. Could crash out. They could be heading back to the lobby very early. That is how Free Fire Brazilian style has been working out. We had a team, SS Esports, dominating the first 3 drops yesterday afternoon. They then found life a little more difficult for the next 3 games. But before the current Trailblazers.
Yeah, and it's important to point it out that the player Kawelog, he got the highest point skills last season on this map, Kalahari map. So we can wait, and we can wait to see great things from him in this map. So I'm pretty sure every player is good, but Kawelog, he's the master in Kalahari.
Well, SS Esports spread out. Not a great shine from them in the Purgatory map. Need to show what they're made up in this second game of the day. Carol, you are a former professional player. As things just start to take shape here, what was your route? How did you become a professional player?
Okay, so for the first time I played this game was just because I was bored at home. You know, there was nothing to do, any kind of things to to watch. So why not play some Free Fire? And then I got really in love with this game. This is really I started to play for fun, and then I started to make a lot of friends, and the friendships help me to have better days, happy days. And then we start to think, why not play some championships?
First bit of action here. No kills so far, but the first shots have been fired.
This is going to be a very interesting battle. Santos against Pain Game is the very first time Pain is playing this season, and they got a really good position. But Santos, they are here to do some action.
Went out early on, but first blood has gone. And we got our first kill of the match. And Metagaming looking strong early on.
Can you see, John, the strategy he's using on the overtop view? He helped the other players to break the ice with the sniper rifle, and which get faster for them. And then he can also manage to get some headshots.
You've got to keep moving, you've got to keep rotating, of course, but you're sticking your head over the parapet. But we talked about the advantage of heights, and well, Pain Gaming go out early, very early, and Santos have 4 kills on the board. They're the first team to go.
Yep.
Double kill.
And they send Pain Game directly to the lobby. Bye bye, Pain Gaming.
Quick stuff then from Santos. 7 players have gone already.
Yeah, and they did a very good style of game. 3 down and 1, just 1 on the overtop view with the sniper rifle, which helps them a lot to break ices and get a lot more of damage on the players.
SS Esports then cautious as we look at Loud. So we had a first firefight, and we've seen the first team heading back to the lobby. 7 down already after what was fairly slow beginning to this second game.
That's what I said before. Like sometimes you can't get enough loot, so you have to rotate, and then you end up to facing off other teams. That's what happened with Loud team, who's now only got 3 players alive, and this is going to be very difficult for them because when you lose a player, it can change your game.
And SS Esports are moving in for the kill here. Nothing on the board for them just yet. You can hear the rattle of machine gun fire in the background as we focus on SS Esports, and they could be in a bit of trouble there as well. Need to use the cover quickly, to use the buildings if they can, but SS Esports here are getting a bit of hammer. Now fighting back, and more kills come. And SS Esports, they have gone out very, very early. They've been overcautious to get caught out there big time, and they've gone out even before than the previous bout as well. That is a real blow for them. They are just not on the ball at all. And sides are perhaps picking them off. They were the leaders, and if you're the leaders, the teams are out to get you, and that's what's happened this afternoon.
Yes, exactly, John. And If I may say, you know, Loud team, they were not scared of that because we can see they were in a bit of a disadvantage because they only had 3 players, and the SS team, they got the full squad, but they said, you know, we are good as well, and we are gonna take you down, especially because you're on the top, and we want to take the top.
That's the pressure of being the leaders. So Carol, a little lull in the fighting now. So you said that you were bored at home, you started playing Free Fire, you fell in love with the game, you got your own team.
Yeah, and we got a female team. I didn't have a lot of chance to join team with boys as well as a lot of girls, and then we start to play some championships. We got some scouts looking at us, and we joined some very important teams like Vivo Keyd, and then we play a lot of championships. That's where I got my experience from.
So, keyword there, you mentioned a scout. So there are Free Fire scouts looking at players.
Yes, there are a lot of scouts. So my advice for you, if you wanted to be a pro player, famous players, keep going to the practice because there is always someone looking at you.
So there you have it. Advice and tips from a former professional player. You can get scouted playing Free Fire. And of course you get scouted and then you become rich and famous like Carol Bombshell. Known throughout Brazil, known throughout the world.
Let's say not the rich part. Are you listening to that, boss?
Santos then 4 kills. Another poor showing from SS Esports, who really dominated the first 3 games and have failed miserably in these first 2, but a long way to go in this Brazilian league.
And see, Santos team keep doing the same kind of styles, which is only possible on Kalahari because there's a lot of over top views, and you can see in a better high ground. Santos got 1 single player on the highest over top view, and the other 2 planes remain down below, which is good because he got the sniper and he can take down very easily the other teams, causing a lot of damage with the sniper rifle.
Oh, this is Team Liquid. We're yet to really see before in action.
Yeah, and Team Liquid was the winner of the first FFPL in the top 3 from the last season. The team more in need of points of the Purgatory map was Team Liquid. But this season, they bring an old new face for the team. The player Peusada. So let's wait great things from him.
Power 7 was impressive for B4. We get our first look at B4 in this second map. Kalahari. They were the team who set the gold standards from the first match.
Yep. I'm not going to say they're going to get a booyah this time because, you know, I'm the kissing of death. I don't bring a lot of luck to the teams.
Bombshell keeping quiet, but teams are going to be forced to get on the move here. Watching and waiting and looking out for what's happening around them. You've got to be so alert playing this game. High ground again, so much to choose from, but you've got to keep on the move. Safe zone getting smaller, starting to shrink. A double kill. Meta Gaming is the team we're looking at. 3 on the board for them. Down to 10 teams. One of the sides who've headed back to the lobby is SS Esports. Not having the best of afternoons when they dominated the show in round 1.
Something I said yesterday is their strategy to use the same kind of skin clothes, you know, because that can help to confuse the other players, your enemies. So most of the players are doing that right now. They are using the same skin clothes.
And also some of the players as well, we've said this before, they're all boys in all the teams. But there are some girl players.
Yes, indeed. In last season we got a girl and she played, I think, oh my heaven.
Firepower coming down because the body count now is starting to come up here very quickly. 33 players remaining, but the action is coming thick and fast. And before, it was so impressive in that first bout.
Yeah.
Again, looking dangerous, and again starting to clock up the body bag count and getting the high ground, which seems to be the key. We said it before, get high, and you will clock up the kills. As Loud now
Wow.
are impressive. They're the new kill leaders. And just onto the edge of the screens on the right-hand side, Red Kalunga not in a great position. They've got Meta to one side, we've got Loud the other. They've got Santos behind them. Red Kalunga not in a good position. And you've got to say it for the first time today, the sandwich, the dreaded sandwich as well.
Yeah, and we can see here they only remain alive. Santos player, he's on the top. Like I said, they were playing a different kind of style of game. 2 and 3. And he is alive.
Now, wait a second. Was that V4 who've just gone out as well?
Wow.
This is Metagaming who looks so strong. They've crashed out as well.
Yeah.
This one is full of surprises.
Yeah.
Triple kills now for Loud. They're looking strong, but two huge shocks with SS Esports and before heading back to the lobby as the killing spree continues. And this map always throws up surprises. It's always difficult even for experienced sides, but two huge shocks.
Yes, yes, indeed, John. And here we can see Cruzeiro against Fluxo team, and Fluxo team really need to score lots of points because they find themselves in the bottom of the scoreboard. So it's going to be very interesting if they do some action and get some kills now.
INTZ also extremely
Wow.
quiet. You can't get caught out of it.
Oh,
That's some
damn.
superb shooting. Some great sharp shooting there, but you can't be out there. Team Liquid have gone.
Yeah. They this kind of gun got a lot of damage as well, the SVD gun. So it's really good for someone to have that in the squad.
Six teams.
Shut down.
I was about to say 6 teams. 5 teams. Red Kalunga, they've been exposed for a long time now. They were living on, or skating on thin ice for a long time. 5 teams, 16 players alive. And Fluxo, just the 1 kill, but looking strong. You are a little bit exposed on the move, and they're going to get picked off. What a absolutely fantastic shot that was.
That was a hell of a headshot. That was incredible.
You've got to move around, you've got to rotate, but you can't get caught out in bad positions. And Loud coming under some hammer, but the Cruzeiro side looking in a very, very dodgy position as well. Teams are on the move, trying to use the ice walls, and player sets it up. Teams coming from behind, that's good cover work from Flux, or Fluxo rather. And Santos have gone, they were down to 1 player for such a long time. Finally went the man on the roof who was causing so much damage. Bit of dust down to 4 sides. 14 players now, 13 players now. Fluxo got 2 kills and they're going down quickly, and another triple kill. Loud looking very, very hot here. Picking up loot from a dead body as the killing spree is on, and so is the firepower.
We got a killing spree from Kawan, and he was the MVP from last season. Maybe he's trying to get MVP this season as well.
Fluxo have gone, Cruzeiro looks strong, Loud have gone.
Uh-oh.
Down to 2 sides, Cruzeiro pressing forward. Who's going to take it this time? We've got the final, and a booyah comes quickly. Cruzeiro, booyah for them. A new side getting the booyah. Second match, 2 different kings.
That was a very quickly booyah. Cruzeiro team took the victory this round, and it was really good because all the players remain alive, and they managed to do a very good positioning in the late stage. And that's the spirit, guys. Go big or go home.
Well, some massive surprises in this one, and not the fact that Cruzeiro took the booyah, but the fact that some of the big names who were so impressive early on went out so very, very quickly. But this is that map. It is so tricky. Teams still, even now, not quite used to it, don't know how to handle it, and it threw up some surprises.
Yeah, we got a lot of surprise, especially coming from Loud team, that in the very first match of today's match, they didn't win quite well. They were trying to prioritize in their placement, but this time in this match they went more aggressive. they said, oh well, that didn't work, so let's change the strategy and let's go ahead for the teams. And I'm pretty sure they got a lot of points by kill points, and we'll see that coming up in the classification scoreboard.
We'll see how it's affected, as Carol said, we'll see how it's affected the way the teams are set out in the championship so far. We'll see who's got the points. Slow start again, but huge surprises with those big names. Esports going out, and B4, who took today's first Booyah as well, they went out as well. So SS Esports, what has happened to them?
Like I said yesterday, okay, now I can agree with you. Yesterday was a little bit of luck for them, was the first one this run in the season. So it's really important for them to keep the same consistency during the game. So maybe today they start full of confidence, and that's not helping them very well. So the other teams from Group C came to do what they are not doing today.
And SS Esports, just to remind you in case you missed yesterday's action, took 3 Booyahs in a row, which is record-breaking stuff from them. And they've gone out fairly early on this afternoon, so maybe a bit of fortune in those 3 Booyahs, but they deserved to get them. They were very, very impressive indeed, but they were struggling so far this afternoon. Might be the case that we have, in the first 3 bouts, 3 different winners. Cruzeiro could take control, B4 could take control, but another side could come in as well. And then things tend to turn and change in the second part of the bout, so we move into the 3 maps again. Never seems to have that same kind of flow, because Brazilian League Free Fire is always full of shocks and twists and turns as we look at some of the highlights.
And here we got the best moments from the last match. And in the first place, we see Loud. They didn't score a Booyah, but actually they got a lot of points because of the kill points. That's what made them change their strategy from the last match. So last match, the first match on the Purgatory map, they were trying to do, a little... they were avoiding the battles, but this time they got a lot of kill points, because they went heavy and aggressive in the other teams. In the second place, we got Cruzeiro, who scored the Booyah but only got 18 points, followed by God Team with 15 points, Santos Sports with 11 points, and Fluxo Team 9 points, followed by Red Kalunga with 5 points.
And that really isn't supposed to happen, is it?
Nope.
A side who gets a Booyah now is probably expected to get more points than their opponents, but Loud really... unexpected, so many kills, taking more points than Cruzeiro, who got the Booyah. So I think that's the first time it's happened in this league format so far. Interesting stuff from Loud. And Cruzeiro, I suppose, they got the Booyah, but they'll probably feel a little bit disappointed that they didn't get the maximum points.
Yeah, but they still got a lot of points, which is good for them, because yesterday they also got the last Booyah of the map from yesterday's match. And here in the 7th position, we can see Team Liquid with 5 points, INTZ 5 points, followed by Meta Gaming, who was playing for the very first time on Serie A with 5 points, B4, who got the first Booyah with 3 points, and Pay Game with 1 point. And that's it, John.
SS Esports with no points.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that, because
They don't want to talk about it, that's for sure.
they broke the record yesterday, and what is happening today?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. This is the Brazilian Free Fire League, so the pressure perhaps has got to B4, not to B4, but to B4, because they didn't really impress us this time. They were fabulous in the first bout, but certainly SS Esports feeling the pressure. Can they bounce back? We're going to find out very, very shortly, because we will have drop number 3 coming up soon, which I am predicting is going to be Bermuda.
Are you sure?
I've got a feeling. It's got a feeling it's going to be the old favourite Bermuda. What makes Bermuda so good? Okay, it's the first map. Is it because the teams are comfortable, they know the map? Is it just the design?
No, because they are comfortable and because they know the map, and actually that can help SS Sport. Maybe they can feel a little bit more confident, because I remember yesterday they did an excellent Booyah during this the matches yesterday, and I remember that in Bermuda they was like in the disadvantage because they were in the bottom and the other team was in the top, but they managed to get a really good rotation and take the team down and got the Booyah.
Things so not going so well for SS Esports, but so much to come. 4 more matches to come this afternoon, live with us, live and direct from the city of Sao Paulo. SS Esports then still top of the league, but Cruzeiro closing in very, very quickly. And who knows, in the next drop, things might just change.
And it changed already, because they were in the 30th position and now they are on the second one, passing out Vivo Keyd, and they are getting close and closer of SS Words, who are not scoring any points so far. And in the 4th position we got INTZ with 70 points, and Loud, finally Loud is going up a little bit with 59 points, followed by Before, there is only 1 point behind. And Fluxo team, see, we can see now the difference with Fluxo team with 43 points. That's really good for them, guys. And then the other side we got God, Team Liquid, Metagame, Santos, Canids Kalunga, and Pen Gaming. That's not very good here in the classification scoreboard.
So much to come with us here on Brazilian Free Fire, but we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away, because they've got more action coming up very, very shortly.
Vai ter o quê? Não ouvi. Pode repetir, por favor? Okay, thank you.
Welcome back then to the Brazilian Free Fire League. It's our first weekend of action live being broadcast around the world. Johnny Cougar with Carol Bombshell, the former professional player. Let's get back to your story before the action because we've got a few minutes.
Okay.
So, just to recap, You started playing because you were bored. You fell in love with the Free Fire game. You got scouted. How did you get scouted? Let's be precise. How did that happen?
Okay, so I was going to a lot of practice with my female team. So we keep on going to practice every day, 24/7, and that was really good actually. And the scout, he was watching the game one day, and then he said, this team group could be a very good team group to go to a championship. And that's why I said, keep doing what you're doing, because someone is always looking at you.
That's right. Always looking at it, so keep your hair nice and good and the clothes are all perfect. So you were scouted. Is that the only way to become a professional player?
Nope, no, there's other ways. Actually, there's lots of people doing streaming lives where you can watch it. So I think there is one player from last season who is called, if I'm not mistaken, Mau Mau. He was playing by Los Grandes, who's now in the relegate zone. He was actually playing during his lives, you know, and the scout looked at him and saw some potential and said, I want this guy, and he's going to be the part of team and going to play the FFBL.
So keep playing, keep practicing, stream as well. There's going to be a lot of people out there who could be watching, could be waiting for the new starlet. And of course, let's not forget, esports is the growing sport to be in. It really, really is. So opportunities for boys and particularly girls.
Actually, John, we can see a lot of soccer players playing the esports games as well. We have a very famous here in Brazil called Neymar, and he's very passionate about some electronic games.
And I'm sure Neymar's, as well as Pelé, is tuning into Santos and seeing how Santos are doing.
But let's talk about a player. His name is Kawan, and Kawan is known by be the MVP from last season. And Kawan yesterday only had 4 kill points in the whole day. But in this only previous match, he got 5 points by killing the other enemies, you know. So that's when we say anything can happen because this is no one's game. That's true, guys. Anything can happen if you change your strategy, and if you keep in doing different things, you can improve your game and get booyahs. I don't know.
Anybody's game, all to play for. We've got game 3 coming up, which I can predict will be Bermuda. Just going back to your life as a professional scout. So you became a professional scout. What was your life like as a professional Free Fire player?
I was very busy actually, because all I can say, these guys as well, they practice every day, which is very important. So I was doing the same. I was practicing every day. I only had time to go to the bathroom and to eat some stuff, which is very important. So keep your health. And you know, I was practicing every day. And what's the most important after practice? You have to talk about with your coach and your team players. Maybe that's what happened with before, because they changed everything what they did yesterday, and this day they came more aggressive. So maybe after the match they were talking about the things that they can change. So that happened with every single player that wants to follow the famous life to be a pro player. So you have to talk about, you have to watch the things that you are doing, you know, and you're talking about with your coach and your team players.
So when you moved into the professional sphere, you were focusing on a particular role in the team, or were you developing all your skills, or did your coach say, right, this is your business, you are really, really good at this, you're not so great at that, so in our team this is what you will specialize in? Or did you work on everything?
No, first of all, he working on everything, and he were trying to developing all the kind of skills. But then eventually he keep seeing like, you are good with this kind of gun, and the other one is good at this kind of position. So you're going to be the captain of the team, and you're going to be, you know, the informator of the team. Yeah, yeah. There is. We got the coach, but we got like the 4 players, and one of these 4 players, he's the captain of the team. He tells you what to do during the, you know, the match, during the game. So that's is very important. So yeah, the coach basically told me, you're good at this, so keep doing this, you know, and you're gonna have the combo with the other team players. So that's why we gotta have a coach.
So you said that you worked on your skills 6 or 7 hours a day, probably.
And eventually I figured out what I was going to do, what I was good at, you know.
And was it a case of repetition? Were you practicing individual skills over and over again? Were you practicing perhaps the way you hold your mobile device? Because there are different ways you can hold it.
Yep. Actually, this is very funny. I think I probably one of the few that hold with these two fingers. Most of the players use these ones, the thumb. They use the thumb, but I use the indicator finger to play, which is very difficult. Sometimes I use three fingers, and there's lots of people that use also more than 1 or 2 fingers. So I'm kind of weird, John.
Well, let's go. You said it there, Carol. Let's go to our map, which I'm pretty certain is Bermuda. Just talking about the hold on the mobile device, there's also the crab, of course, which is quite difficult to do. But I'm told on the games I played that if you can master the crab configuration, it means, like you said, you've got fingers hovering over different buttons at the same time. So practice is what is coming out.
That's the secret. And look, John, it's Bermuda map.
Surprise, surprise! Just had a feeling it could be Bermuda, the old favourite, everybody's favourite. Where's
Yes,
everyone
indeed.
going? We've got a bit of a cluster around that blue zone.
Yeah, yesterday we saw Loud going to the blue zone a lot of times, but not today. Maybe yesterday they lost some of their team players, so today they changed the strategy and they decided to go to their usually call. But God, they are in the blue zone. Oh, here we see some action between Santos and Team Liquid.
Very, very quick action as well.
First blood.
And first blood already. But this is Bermuda, the teams know the map. And Team Liquid. 2 bodies down already. Very quick action. The teams know this map, they know what they want to do, they know it very well, they know the positioning, and hence the quick firefights. It's also going to be interesting how B4 and Cruzeiro and SS Esports, how they line up, how they do. In particular, SS Esports, they needed to bounce back after such a fantastic display yesterday afternoon. But grim for them here. But this is Brazilian Free Fire. This is the way things are as the body count starts to mount up very quickly. 3 players out already. It's got to be absolutely heart-wrenching for those players to crash out, to be heading to the lobby after just a matter of seconds. All the training, like you talked about, hours and hours, looking at screens, and then you're out of the game in seconds. Caro, did that ever happen to you?
Yes. I mean, anything can happen all the time. So we have to be aware of that. And that's why we have to practice every day, because anything can happen and you're going to be surprised. And if you're not aware of that, you're going to be sent to the lobby.
Team Liquid on 2. Clock Tower is the zone we're looking at.
Only 2 players remain alive from Santos team. And it's 3 against 2. Something funny that I saw that happened was that one of the players didn't have any guns in his hand. So he was actually using the hands to go against the other team player, the enemy.
Bit of boxing skills, but not recommended.
Not really. I mean, we have a character that is really good with the hands. He's got a great ability, but it's better if you have a gun in your hands.
Team Liquid trying to get around Santos, maybe trying to get some separation from Pele's Santos side.
Yeah, Team Liquid now, maybe they will use another kind of strategy, because they were took down by God, who is coming from the
heavens.
Yeah. I would say they were coming from Riverside. But yeah, it works from heavens.
Our Team Liquid already down to 2 players, and maybe wanting to get out of the way and perhaps make an impact. So it's 2 against 2 here. I've got a feeling they're not going to engage. I think they might be doing a bit of a runner. But if you look around, there is not a lot of space, not a lot of cover, and they don't want to be caught out.
And they definitely don't want it to be friends, so they're going to be in separate ways. But once more, it's really bad for in the early stage to lose a team player, because you're gonna need all the players alive to go, you know, to the late stage and to get a booyah. But sometimes can happen. You can get a booyah with 1 or 2 players, and this is definitely a luck one.
Team Liquid made it to that little kind of iron corrugated area. And Metagaming now not in a very, very good position here because they're exposed, trying to get to the buildings, get some cover, and they have to move quickly. And they got away with that one.
Yeah, maybe now they are prioritizing their placement on the scoreboard, so that's why they regroup and went to a different direction.
Seen sides mown down in the open. It's a murderous game. Free Fire.
And everything's remain peace for now. We can see Loud spotting Pain Game down there. But we got also B4 on the top.
Sneaky
So
B4.
I hope Loud don't find themselves in a sandwich. This is going to be delicious. For who? I don't know. Not for me, John.
And maybe not for Loud as well if they are the filling in the killing spree sandwich. And everybody waiting, watching, aware of where the nearest opponents are, but no one willing to make a move. Loud can't get out of that zone because if you look around again, you've got a bit of tree cover. And there's a few buildings as Pain also lurking. Nobody wants to push forward, which is why, of course, we have the safe zone ever shrinking, because otherwise nobody would do anything. But then you're forced into action. If you haven't worked out before, that is why the danger zones and the safe zones exist.
Yeah, so the safe zone or the danger zone is definitely going to push you to do some action, because if the players don't play, they're going to force you.
It's no real kind of timer on Free Fire. It's down to that shrinking safe zone to push players closer together.
Yes, and also the danger zone. I don't know if you have noticed, but the danger zone is really scary, John, and I'm not a big fan to fight in the danger zone, because the danger zone can also take you down and take you back to the lobby. And now you can see Cruzeiro, and Cruzeiro, they start really good this Sunday on the match, because they got 2 booyahs, and last season Cruzeiro and
Cruzeiro going for it against a 2-man Santos side. Santos in a bit of trouble here because Cruzeiro moving in for the kill, and they're moving in swiftly in numbers. 4 against 2 at the moment. And Cruzeiro reigning in the pain big time here. Santos in trouble, and Santos have gone. No surprises there because Cruzeiro used their numerical advantage and bang.
Yep.
Santos went.
And I don't know if you noticed, John, we got a girl character here.
I did notice. So the girl character, so no real girl players, unfortunately, in this Brazilian league, but we've got girl characters, and now SS Esports are getting in some hammer. Metagame have got the high ground. SS Esports, again, their positioning isn't the best.
Yeah, yes, definitely is not. So Metagame have to manage that very well, because even though their position is not very good, they got a lot of cover because of the high ground difference, you know. So Metagame, maybe they will rush on them, but I don't think it's a very wise choice.
Might be waiting for other teams to pressure as we switch to INTZ. 2 kills on the board for them. And aggressive stuff. We're down to 11 sides. Santos have gone. Still 39 players alive. You said that we've got the artificial women out there.
Oh, God.
Well, God, I've said a quick goodbye. They join Santos in the lobby. So girl kind of avatar figures out there, but no real women playing.
Yeah, I mean, the girls' characters on Free Fire, they got great abilities. As much the girls in real life, they also get great abilities. That's why they need to get a chance to play the Free Fire Brazilian League. So girls, sign up for the next season, please.
Sure, it's just a matter of time as we look at an overhead of the map. Quite a few sides now kind of lurking on the peripheries, really.
Yeah, now here, John, we can notice the Loud that in the first map was avoiding to battles and everything. They are now in the middle of the safe zone. They got a really great position, and I have a feeling they are gonna hold it. And maybe they have to have a great courage to hold to that, because every single team is coming to take their position.
Now Flux on the move, and they have to be. It's right on the edge of the map. INTZ as well stuck out wide. Had early action. Two teams heading back to the lobby very early on.
Sadly, 0 points. We still got SS alive, but not for a long time.
Metagaming are trying to flank them, and SS Esports,
Yes.
surely they won't crash out again very early on, or will they? Because this is aggressive stuff from Metagaming. They're really going for blood here, they're going for kills. And the body count is rising very quickly. This is going to be trouble again for SS Esports, who are getting some hammer. And are they going to go out again, because there's no relent from Metagaming, who are pushing forward, and SS Esports are on there, and SS Esports go out again. They are really getting absolutely hammered this afternoon.
And they were sent back to the lobby by Metagaming, who came all the way from Serie B. I mean, they had a great development during the Access group, but they are showing a lot more than we were expecting. And they were, I mean, they took down the leader of this competition so far. That takes a lot of courage for them. They are brave guys.
All right, Kalunga then off on a little road trip. And zooming, I like the look of this car, these huge wheels, getting them around the map, but alerting everybody exactly where they are, of course.
Yeah, that's a kind of a good strategy. I mean, sometimes it's good because you can rotate fast, and I'm not sure what they are trying to do, because they are inside once more of the unsafe zone.
They are taking a bit of a road trip. And well, we can see they are at the top of the map. They in kind of pink, even though it's the red Kalunga, and they've decided to abandon. But that's not a great piece of parking, I have to say.
No.
You don't just slam your car into a brick wall and then leave it.
I'm glad they are good to kill people, but not
Parking,
to
no.
driving car.
No points for parking, I'm afraid, from red Kalunga. Don't do that at home.
Yes. Kids, please, don't leave your studies.
So SS Esports, we've talked about them a lot because they were so impressive yesterday afternoon, but they are having an absolute nightmare.
And Loud once more is in the middle of the safe. They have to hold this position and to kill everyone that wants to take down. But Noda is unfortunately already down.
We can see Cruzeiro, who took the last booyah. B4 are keeping relatively low profile. Here they are at the top of the map, right at the 12 o'clock position, as Cruzeiro are on the move.
Yeah, they already lost one player before, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for them to take this booyah, this match.
Got the pets are out in force again. We saw an eagle, and I'm not quite sure what the other thing was running around.
I mean, it's wise for the teams to have with the players very different kinds of pets, because the penguin, as we talked yesterday, he produces ice walls, and the eagle helps you to drop faster from the airplane. So this is really important.
If you've got an eagle flying above your head, does that make you more of a target for the opposition?
No, because actually the other players, your enemies, can't see your pet. This is a hack of the game. You can't see the pad the player is using it. So if you're playing against me, I can see your pad, John.
A close-up firefight here. Meta and Payne going head-to-head. You can see how compact it is, and one of these sides is going to be heading back to the lobby very, very shortly. Payne with just the one kill. They've got bodies, almost bodies down for them as well, but being aggressive and metagaming go out just like that. Boof.
I don't even see where his helmet went. I mean, that was a great headshot. That was beautiful.
Down to 8 sides already, and some of the big names have gone out. Cruzeiro getting it in the neck here. They're in the low position, and before, who were down to 3 players coming to life. And as we switch to Fluxo and Cruzeiro have gone. Cruzeiro took the last booyah. They've gone out as well. They weren't in a great position.
And I tell you why, John. It's because they find themselves in a sandwich. Fluxo team was down them, and the B4 was over them.
Now, before winners of the first booyah this afternoon. And Cruzeiro have gone. Heads are rolling and dropping off as well in this afternoon's free fire. As the grenades get lobbed, the ice walls come up. Players and teams have been more aggressive as this afternoon has gone on in this Brazilian Free Fire League. Allowed yet to get the kills, down to 3. But they've been pushing forward, they've been raining hell. Team Liquid, they've gone as well, down to 6, 23 players.
And Pain Game is giving a little bit of a hard time to Loud Team. They are coming heavy, they are chasing Loud Team now, and they are coming for some action.
Pain needs to regroup quickly. They've got 5 kills on the board, they're raining down hell here so far, but they're a little bit stretched. Loud with 2 on the board, and you can't get caught out in these exposed positions, and Pain Gaming have gone. Some great stuff here from these Brazilian players.
I gotta say, these guys are really good at headshots. They really take the helmet off very easily.
It is a great skill as well, but as NITZ also start to get involved here, and B4 have gone as well, so the sides who've taken the first booyahs this afternoon, they also crash out. If you win, you are in trouble because you are marked side. I think that's what's happened here this afternoon. The sides who've been winning.
Yep. And we're gonna see here an interesting battle between Loud, INTZ, and Red Kalunga. But actually, INTZ is just looking on the other side because they want to see who's going to die first.
And Loud now moving forward down to 3, 12 players because it's 4 against 4 against 4 at the moment. But it's not going to stay that way for very, very long here. Loud on the move. It's one of those situations. It's 3 sides, all very close to each other. Who's going to get the stroke of luck? And the head count is starting to come up. We're down to 10. Red Kalunga, and as we switch to INTZ, triple kill for them. They are moving forward. They've been quiet. 2 teams remaining now. Who's going to take it? And a quick booyah! And it's INTZ. Take it at the end. Exciting and very, very excellent stuff from them. They really rolled forward. They really came out with those quick kills at the end. And they take a booyah. And again, we get another leader, another winner. 3 straight games, 3 straight different winners.
And I already could see that the INTZ is we're gonna take the booyah because they were waiting. They were inside of the safe zone. That's why it's so important to hold inside of the safe zone. And we see a great game from INTZ. They waited, they used their better strategy and wait for the Loud team to go against the Red Kalunga. And now they took the booyah by disturbing the other battle fights.
So before Cruzeiro and now INTZ. 3 different sides, 3 different booyahs for them. This league this afternoon is starting to really open up. And of course those names, the big names went out early. Esports, what has happened to them? So impressive yesterday afternoon, but having an absolute nightmare here and crashing out very, very early, heading to the lobby again.
Yes, unfortunately, the luck is not on their side today. And yesterday they were full of confidence. So what happened with their confidence today, John? I don't know. I mean, they should change their strategy. If things that happened yesterday is not working today, they should talk about that and change it. Because this is the game. This is what happened in Brazilian Free Fire League. You change all the time. You have to change. You have to adapt it to the new course of the game.
Change their strategy by staying alive. That's my advice. But they were
Yes, it
so
is
good.
indeed.
We have to give it to SS Esports yesterday. We keep talking about it because they were so impressive in the first 3 games where they dominated. They could come back, of course, and go on that 3-game winning streak yet again. But this afternoon we've had a mixed bag, definitely. 3 different booyahs, 3 different winners in our first 3 maps. So it's all open, all to play for. And heaven knows what's in store for us in the next 3 games.
Yeah, and who got this booyah this match was INTZ with 19 points. Loud following up. Loud went down in the 30th place because Red Kalunga remained alive. But Loudly got the 2nd place with 15 points. Red Kalunga 11 before 11. Pen Game 10 points and Meta Game with 7 points. And the MVP of this match was Moreira with 3 kill points. And actually I was watching him and he got very beautiful points by using the sniper rifle. That was incredible to watch. And in the 7th place we got Fluxo team with 6 points, Team Liquid with 6 points, Cruzeiro with 5 points, SS Sports with 1 single point, God with 1 point, and Santos Esports with 1 point. It's good to point it out, John, that the 2 bottom teams, they don't point at all, but if they kill, they score a point by killing.
1 point for a kill. It's changed, or a change of rules rather. So 1 point for a kill. We did see in the earlier bout that the side who got more kills actually got more points than Cruzeiro. We're going to see the scoreboard in just a second to see where SS Esports are. Are we still top of the league? Are they going to get knocked off? Because the way things are going, SS Esports will have that crown, that early crown, removed very, very shortly. But just to recap then, before took the first booyah in Purgatory, Cruzeiro in Kalahari, INTZ in Bermuda. So good stuff here from his Brazilian sides. All to play for, and a game 4 will be coming up shortly.
Yes, and congrats to the INTZ. They didn't score a lot of booyahs the last season, but as we are talking about, the change came have for them this season. And they are finally scoring a lot of booyahs. The very first time was yesterday's on Purgatory map, and today on Bermuda map. I see we can wait great things from them.
Well, there you go, there's the top of the table. SS Esports still there before... Well, then closing the gap initially, but they've dropped down a little bit. Cruzeiro then closing the gap at the top. It still remains 18 points. INTZ, or INTZ, maybe I like the sound of INTZ. On to 89 points.
And we got followed up by Loud with 74 points before 69 points. Fluxo team, then now we are seeing a little bit of action from them with 49 points. God with 30 points. Team Liquid 22 points. Red Kalunga 21 points. Meta Gaming, who is doing a brilliant job today with 20 points, and Pen Gaming 14 points, and Santos in the very bottom with 13 points. I like to see Cruzeiro. They are doing very good. And they are only 18 points behind the SS team. So, SS, watch out. Cruzeiro is coming for you.
Game 4 coming up shortly, but before then, a little break. Welcome back to our coverage of the Brazilian Free Fire League. We've had 3 exciting bouts already, got 3 more to come. Before Cruzeiro and INTZ or INTZ have been laying down the law in those first 3 bouts. And Caro, what has been the biggest surprise of the day so far?
For sure, the big surprise was INTZ, because last season they only got 2 booyahs in the 9th round. You know, after 35 rounds, they only got 2 booyahs. But now, this is a different season for them, because this is their 2nd booyah in the 2nd day. So congrats to the INTZ team. You guys are doing good so far.
Action and some aggressive stuff. We've seen more kind of open play on this 2nd day. A few cautious starts, and then the teams have really gone for it. And we have to mention again that the leaders, SS Esports, another poor showing from them. They got really hammered. They got blown away. What's happened?
I don't know, John. It's hard to say because, like I said, the game changes every time. So maybe yesterday the luck was by their side, but today they don't feel that confidence. Maybe they're nervous. Well, yesterday we talked a lot about when you got the victory, you have the feeling of the victory, so you go hungry for the other games. But today, on their first loss, in the first game that they didn't win, they feel more, you know, okay, so maybe the things change for them.
Well, straight in then to game number 4, and Purgatory, as it was earlier on, opening match this afternoon, and maybe SS Esports feeling the pressure perhaps, but
yeah, and Cruzeiro are coming for them. They are only 18 points behind of the leader, so let's see if Cruzeiro, I would say if Cruzeiro score a lot of kill points this match and get a booyah, they're going to pass SS Sports.
And will Cruzeiro perhaps go for SC Sports? Will they try to take them out early on?
Yeah, I mean they should, but would it be interesting if they try to go on their drop call, but they remain in Brasilia against Pain and Fluxo team. And we can see B4 taking shots on SS.
Before one of the winners, one of the booyahs, the first one this afternoon.
I don't know if it's a little bit of lucky to get booyahs in a row, you know, a sequence of booyahs, but yesterday SS managed to do that very well, so maybe that's the teams that got booyahs today, they are trying to do the same.
Well, 3 in a row. I mean, we said it was record-breaking from SS Esports, so maybe a little bit of luck, but also a lot of skill from that side to get 3 in a row.
Of course, there is a lot of skills going on, and they are not showing that today, sadly.
It's one of those days. Maybe it's a side who thrive on confidence, or maybe they are so frail that a single defeat has really knocked them off. They are just not at the races so far.
Wow.
Well, look out.
Okay, so I gotta talk about the grenades. We have now the new grenade fermentation, which consists in you can hold a little bit longer the grenade in your hand, and for a couple seconds, if you throw against your enemy, it's going to expose a lot faster. So the teams are doing that very often right now.
But you want to use the grenades, of course, to cause maximum damage. Is it worth throwing a grenade at just one single player? If, as we are here right at the start of the game, will you hang on to your grenades or do you wait?
I will hang on to my grenade. Actually, yesterday we saw one of the players from Fluxo team doing that. He threw one single grenade and he took down 2 players and got a lot of damage from the other players. So it's good. It's a good strategy to use grenades, and lots of them.
Overhead of the map, Cruzeiro very stretched out here, but Pain in what could be a painful position for them because they've got teams either side.
Yep. And we see here the Fluxo team, they already got all the loot and equipment from the top side of Brasilia, and now they are coming to get some kill points over Pain Gaming or Cruzeiro. I don't know. Cruzeiro already are saying, you know, I'm out of here. They already lost one of their team players. That's why they are trying to go to a new rotation, a new life.
And Cruzeiro, though, perhaps can't get out of the...
Yep, they are trapped.
They can't get away quick enough, really, Cruzeiro, because teams here can smell blood. This is not a great place to be.
Nope.
From Flux until they get some cover. Got away with that one. Carol, you're talking about kitting up and getting lots of loot. Was there anything specific that you always wanted to have in your armory?
For sure. Well, my favorite thing to find in the first stage of the game is to get a push gun. You know, because if you have to fight for your call, and if you have a gun rush in your hands, you can take down the other enemy very easily, because it takes a lot of damage against them.
Well, SS Esports, we saw they're paying are now Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro wanted to get out of trouble, but might not be able to do so. But they respond with 2 quick kills, but they lost a player. Cruzeiro, as we saw, trying to get away from trouble. Santos down to 3 already.
Yeah, and you see, John, they are using a lot of ice walls, but also they are using the ability of the new character, Cristiano Ronaldo, to help them as much as the ice wall.
Or can anyone spot the Cruzeiro player who's down on the ground and looking dead and buried?
I don't think so.
Still all 12 sides. No one's gone yet, but I've got a feeling that's going to change quickly.
Oh, and because the competition is so fast and everything happens so fast, I didn't notice Santos is there.
Everyone's there at the moment, but seems perhaps by accident as Loud get 2 quick kills. Look at the bodies on the floor, and they quickly disappear. That's one of the things about Free Fire. All the corpses go away as Santos.
Yeah, and they took down the ping game. They were in disadvantage, but they took down ping game and sent them back to the lobby, which is very sad because they are in the bottom and they need 4 points.
Well, they've gone then. A first team has gone to the lobby as the pace is picking up quickly here. Teams are on the run. Cruzeiro managing to get out of a hole that they were digging for themselves. And the players here as they go down quickly, and this is going to be... Oh, no, it's not going to be a kill. Can players pretend to be dead as we get a triple kill? And Loud looking loud and proud. And Canids Kalunga, they've gone as well. So 2 teams have gone. Can they play dead?
Nope.
They can't fake it, can they, really?
No, I mean, you can lay down, but the other, your enemy is going to realize you're not dead at all.
Some games around where you can kind of pretend that you're not active.
And we can see here Moreira, who was the MVP from the last match, using actually a sniper rifle, and he's using a sniper rifle once again, so we can wait great things from him.
Players here from Team Liquid's a little bit exposed and need to hide behind any rock, any boulder they can find, but this is a bit of a long run here, heading towards the bridge. And they have to move as quickly as they can. Up comes the protective walls.
And we got in the team the player Peusada, who only played the first season of Free Fire Brazilian League, and he's back now in action.
And those ice walls, great stuff, but they don't help you all the time. They can't take constant bombardment. There are weapons, there's equipment which can take them down, as we can see from here.
And he's using Kawe from Metagame. He's using double sniper rifle, who breaks down easily and quick the ice walls, and helps a lot of his team.
So the ice wall's really handy, but when you're in those kind of positions, you want something a little bit more solid to get behind.
And they are coming for the Team Liquid.
A lot more...
and it's 3 against 4. If I'm not mistaken. No, it's 3 against 3. But they are not... I mean, they came from Serie B, and it's the very first time they are fighting against the teams from Serie A, but they are not scared at all. And you see the grenades.
Follow that up with a quick machine gun burst as well. No fear from Meta. Might have to reposition themselves.
I don't think they're going to do anything.
They decided to live for another day.
Yeah, I mean, there is still 10 teams alive, and if you die now in the early stage, you're not gonna get really good points. And it's I mean, in my opinion, you have to prioritize now the placement points. It's more points than kill points.
Kill points or lack of them has changed the dynamic of the game. And now Meta might be forced to get on the move here, and I think...
If I'm seeing that very well, they are using a car.
And they need to, because it...
Are they going to the opposite side? Or they are going over Team Liquid? I don't think so.
They're trying to get away. This is Cruzeiro then. Cruzeiro once again in a sorry position. They've lost 2 players. INTZ INTZ.
Yeah, something that I noticed, it's loud. They kept the exactly same players the whole day so far, of course. But after each match, you can replace the players. You can choose another player, you know. But loud, they kept the same players. And before as well.
Esports lurking in the background. And it's need to be aware this is Esports. Then poor showing so far today, but we know what they're capable of doing. But they're heading towards the river, and we said it before, the river is not the place you really want to be sometimes, especially when you're crossing.
Yep, not is not. And everything remains in peace, John. I don't know, but the only action we saw so far was in Brasilia, because there was 3 teams disputing their drop call. So that's why we saw some action, but most of the players, because Purgatory map is so big, they wait until the safe zone starts to shrink.
Before, winners of the first Booyah this afternoon.
I'm not gonna bet who's gonna get the Booyah because it's too early, but yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
That's great news for these teams still out there. Before Cruzeiro and INTZ, I'm going to call them INTZ from now on, are the sides who've taken the 3 Booyahs so far.
Yes, indeed.
As we look at before or before and the overhead of the map, and the moat house and fields are Brasilia at the bottom of the map.
Yeah, and we got B4 and Loud Team side by side. And I remember last season, Kawan from Loud Team, he was the MVP, but also Kawalok was on the running to be the MVP. So this is going to be a very interesting competition this season, because both of them are on the top to be the MVP this season.
Cruzeiro and Santos too close for comfort as far as Cruzeiro are concerned, down to 2 players, but likewise Santos 2 against 2. And they've got the high ground, which as we've seen in the last 2 days, getting the high ground can be so deadly.
Yeah, they're going to give a very hard time to Cruzeiro. I don't think Cruzeiro is gonna make it because of the safe zone. And because Santos know there's only 2 players alive, and you know, they are not here to joke, they're not here to play.
Not here for fun. Anybody playing this game this afternoon, they're there to kill and take points.
Don't fear them. See? Oh, headshot.
You love the headshots, you love the sight of blood. You've already confessed that to us. And Santos, though, aggressive. Cruzeiro may be heading back to the lobby very shortly, but unless they can come back quickly against Santos. Santos now with 4 kills, and Cruzeiro do go It's what we expected, really. Good, as you said, great job from Santos' aggressive stuff. And as we switch to... metagaming have gone as well.
Yeah. Because the player from God, Lockton, he put him in a very hard time using his sniper rifle. The players are using a lot of sniper rifle this season. As I said before, they get great damage on the lives of the other players, and also help to break the ice walls very quickly. So if you can choose a gun for this championship, this kind of championship, please, a sniper rifle, a double M or M248. It's your choice, it's your call.
The sound of movement has alerted everybody. 2 kills so far for Team Liquid.
Uh-oh,
Couple
loud
of
being finished.
machine gun fire in the distance. Again, before Cruzeiro ends with the Booyahs, will we get a different team taking the honours for round number 4 this afternoon?
It's going to be a little bit difficult to Fluxo team get inside of the safe zone because of the B14 and also the INTZ who got the better view on the high ground. So I don't think a Fluxo team can make it.
Santos, then, as we said, down to 2 players, and they're not in a great position now. They've got too many of their opponents close by.
Yes.
And out goes those grenades.
Grenade launcher, my favorite.
And they're coming in this direction, though, as well. But before, need to move around, need to get some more cover. Down to 8 side, but there are a lot of players out there. And this is getting hot stuff in this round number 4 of the afternoon. Again, Fluxo just down to the 1 kill, but hoping to add to their kill score very quickly because they've been aggressive here.
Yeah.
But there's an open ground.
You know, I said they couldn't make it inside of the safe zone, so I will never ever again doubt of someone's capacity.
And B4, they've gone as well. First up, Boo of the afternoon, and then they've suffered since then, so they've become marked sides, down to 7 teams. Again, SS Esports, will this be their moment this afternoon?
I hope so. They are still alive, and we get in the late stages of the game, and finally, they are still alive.
Looking a bit stretched as they try to press on INTZ here. And it's winners of the last Booyah as well, so SS Esports aware they've got 2 kills on the board for them.
Yes.
19 players alive. And Team Liquid, they've gone. SS Esports now suddenly showing what they're made of, and more players go.
Shut down.
They lost 1 player, but that's okay. They won the battle.
INTZ have gone, but good stuff, aggressive stuff. What we kind of expected from SS Esports throughout the day. They finally showed it. They've taken out the team who won the last Booyah.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting match because we got 5 teams alive and the safe zone is getting smaller and smaller.
And SS Esports, they've gone. It was an aggressive display, a best display of the afternoon for them so far, but they've gone still relatively early as far as they're concerned. And Fluxo now are moving forward with real purpose, and they've got to watch it. 7 kills on the board for them. God with 4, and Fluxo have gone down to 3, 5 players. So this is going to be very stretched out here for these sides as the kills mount up. Oh God, take it. Out come the grenades.
Yeah, there's only 1 player alive from Loud Team. This is going to be a little bit hard for him to get a Booyah.
Santos also have very diminished numbers here. So God looking red hot favourites. Loud on one side, Santos on the other. God in a bit of a sandwich, but I don't think Loud or Santos want to move. But as you can see, it's shrinking. It's going to force those players out. And this could be a very good moment here for a Santos go. God, I think, looking strong. God are about to come in for the kill, and there it is. Booyah! Number 4, and God. Facing a weak opposition, and God using his full power to lay down the law.
The full power came all the way from heaven. They probably are saying thank God right now. And God did a really good job this competition, now we can say on the replays.
Well, almost inevitable really, because Santos were down to 1. Loud were down to 1. It just had to be Quad. Really?
Yep. And I was actually, John, expecting so much of this last match because we got the shrink zone, like really small. The safe zone was really small and there was so many teams alive. But God took the advantage and they managed to get the booyah.
Don't mess with God. That's my words of wisdom for you. So before Cruzeiro, INTZ, and now God getting the 4 booyahs this afternoon. So
It seems
every
fair.
round seems fair. Every round has had a different winner. The
Yeah.
tussle up the top continues. It's going to be interesting to see how many points Cruzeiro got opposed to Esports. Those two vying for the position of top dog. We're going to look at the scores very shortly. Will
Yeah.
we have a new leader?
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't think Cruzeiro went past SS Sports because Cruzeiro was very punished in the very beginning because of they were in dispute of Brasilia drop call, you know, and then they only had 2 players alive and Santos took them down, sent them to back to the lobby, and SS Sports remained alive until the late stages of the game, which was really good for them. Now they are defending their top victory.
Confidence booster for SSE Sports. Let's look at the points at the bottom, and God 20.
20 points for God, who got the booyah, lots of points because they scored kill points as well. In the second place we got Loud, who is going really good so far in this competition with 18 points. Santos Esports with 14 points, followed by Fluxo team. Finally, Fluxo team, we are seeing a lot more of you guys with 14 points. SS Sports 11 points, and Team Liquid with 7 points in the 6th position. And in this match specifically, we got the MVP, who is from Loud team, Noda, who is with 6 kill points in his baggage. That's really good.
4 different rounds, 4 different winners.
Yeah, like we said, it seems fair. But we really like to see the sequence of booyahs, especially if it's something like Suicide SS, who is they are playing really good, but not today.
Better showing though from the league leaders, and we assuming they will stay top because Cruzeiro aren't on the points board, at least for now.
And in the 7th position, we got INTZ with 6 points, followed by B4 with 3 points, Metagaming 3 points, Cruzeiro only 3 points, Cruzeiro, and Pain Game 2 points, and Red Kalunga 0 points because they are in the bottom.
So there were no change at the top, but then medium and poor showings really from those winners of the booyahs so far. B4, Cruzeiro, and INTZ not exactly thrashing the opposition.
Yeah,
In game number 4.
I'm pretty sure Cruzeiro didn't get the top on the scoreboard because they only scored 3 points and they were in need of 18 points to pass SS Sports. But still, they still got a lot of time. We still got a lot of games, and we still got 2 matches today, the last 2 matches.
Final moment, as you said, it forced the issue really of both Santos, who were down to 1, and also Loud, who were down to 1. Maybe, I think, had they had more space, there might have been a different outcome, but all credit to God for taking full advantage and taking booyah number 4.
Are you saying God, the players, or God?
I'm sure he's watching, tuning in, like the rest of the world, to the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yes, of course, Joe. Indeed. And God, they did a really good job. This is the first booyah today in the 4th round. And there was a nice booyah. Only 2 players from the other teams that remain alive. But still, a really good booyah. I'm saying a little bit like this way because I like when there's so much action going on. Because you know, John, I like to see a lot of blood. But still, God managed to do a really great booyah. And if they can, the next 2 matches, they can get a booyah as well.
Well, Johnny Cougar with the bloodthirsty Carol bombshell, bringing the action from the Brazilian Free Fire League. So it's been a very, very open afternoon so far. 4 different booyahs, B4, Cruzeiro, INTZ, and then God. So it's been open this afternoon. Nobody has really dominated. Nobody's done really, really badly. They've got points on the board. Some teams struggling, but no outright domination from anybody.
Yeah, there is no domination for anybody. That's right, John. But still, we're gonna see coming up soon the classification board, and probably we're gonna see who is in advantage. And I'm bet you saying it's SS Sports. Like I said. Oh, and surprisingly, INTZ in the 2nd place. They passed Cruzeiro. Wow, with only 2 points difference, but still, that's a great work. And SS Sports remain the top with 119 points in 10 rounds.
Still relatively close at the top of the table. Still 2 more rounds to come. Will SS Esports hang on to their place at the top of the table because they're being tested, being pushed? INTZ and Cruzeiro. Loud, of course, not out of the picture. Vivo Keyd not in action this afternoon. And then on the kind of the outliers, really, B4 and Fluxo. I think no chance of Fluxo taking the top slot this afternoon, but the teams below SS Esports will be pressing, and we've got 2 games to go, so we might end up with a new leader. We shall see very shortly.
Yeah, and we can see here on the bottom the 2 teams, Red Kalungas and Pay Gaming. They actually, in the last season, I remember they were in the bottom for a long time as well. I mean, in the late stages, Pain Game managed to go a little bit over the top, but still, they are a little bit slow behind of the other teams.
2 more games, 2 more exciting matches to come with us very shortly after this break.
O microfone? Você falou, Dudu? Tá.
And welcome back then as we await Game 5 from this afternoon's Brazilian Free Fire League. Some exciting stuff so far. 4 Bouyas, 4 different winners with 4 different styles. Nobody has managed to take control of the league action this afternoon. Carol, Purgatory map's gone. Bermuda or Kalahari is coming up next. Your prediction, first of all, which map are we going to have?
I can feel it's going to be Bermuda.
Well, let's see.
I'm betting a lot in Bermuda today.
That's the call from Carlos. So you've gone for the Bermuda map. B4, Cruzeiro, INTZ and God. Any one of those sides going to take this 5th Booyah?
That's hard to say, John. There's much going on, but INTZ, they are doing so good, so good. Like I said, the last match they only did 2 Bouyas last season in the 9th round, and today they got 2 Bouyas in the 2nd day so far. But also Fluxo, they did their best round so far with 7 kill points and in the total of 14 points, you know. And Loud in the last FFBL 3, they got about 26 kills, you know, in one single round. But today they got 29, and still there is 2 more rounds to come.
Some impressive figures, some impressive play from these sides, but as we said, nobody really has taken complete control. We saw God making a late move in round number 4 in the Purgatory map. We really don't know what's in store in the next 2 matches. Will somebody knock SS Esports off the top of the map? It's going to be down really to Cruzeiro, who are perhaps pushing for that 2nd place, and likewise INTZ as well. They're the 2 sides. So with 3 teams we need to look at in these next 2 games. SS Esports leaders and INTZ and Cruzeiro, who are very, very close behind them. Maybe a dark horse as well will push forward in games 5 and 6 in the Brazilian League.
Yes, indeed, John. Now, actually, we got INTZ in the 2nd place, followed by Cruzeiro in the 3rd place, so with about 2 points difference. But these two teams, they are fighting fast and furious to take over the top from SS Sports. So it's going to be very interesting to watch them, you know, in this very next match, who is going to be a big decision for them, because they only played next week, but today it's now or never for them. If they wanted to take this top from SS Sports, they do for sure should do some lots of kill points and take and get a good placement on the scoreboard.
Certainly would be nice to go in. There's a week, of course, between the next rounds after the next 2. It would be great for any of these sides to go home for 1 week being top of the league. But we're going to have a short break, but join us very quickly for more action. Round 5 coming up.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Brazilian Free Fire League. We've got 2 more matches to come up very, very shortly. As we said, before Cruzeiro and INTZ plus God have taken the 4 booyahs so far. So 4 different winners, and we really don't know what to expect so far. But we've been talking about SS Esports a lot. Carol, they have broken records. They broke records yesterday, and they've broken records today as well.
Yes, they sure did. I mean, today is not a day for them. That's okay. It can happen. It can happen with anyone. But they keep breaking records, John. And today they broke another records. It's possible they are the only team that broke the record of 100 points in one single round in the new system of the rules, with the 1 kill points and the changes of the punctuation on the points of the scoreboard. But what I really want to talk about is the 2 teams in the bottom, which is Pen Gaming and Red Kalunga. Well, Red Kalunga is one of the few teams that haven't changed anything in their squad, so all the players remain from the past seasons. And in the other hand, the last season they didn't have a stable squad. They kept changing it during the competition. They used like 9 different squads, and they didn't help them a lot. The only one who stayed in the whole rounds in all the match was the captain team, one header. And however, they achieved like 5 booyahs in 5 different squads. But I don't think it's a very wise choice to keep changing, the people in the squad all the time to replace a player. Like Lao team, we can use as an example. They keep the same players on all these rounds today, and they are doing a pretty good job so far. But last season that was the strategy for Red Kalunga team, and this season they are not really doing really good.
Allowed, and both Red Kalunga yet to get a booyah, but obvious question to ask is why so many changes at the Reds?
I don't know. Sometimes, you have to try. I mean, that's what practice is for. You have to try many things different. But sometimes the player are too nervous, or he's not feeling confident, and maybe they did something wrong in the past match, so they decided to change it. But I don't think it's a very wise choice, because if you change it, the game changes as well, because it's important to say every player is different of each other, so they have different kinds of styles of game styles, but you have to have the same vibe to play the thing.
The voice of our experts, former professional Free Fire player Carol Bloodthirsty. Carol Bloodthirsty Bombshell.
I have a new nickname, Carol Bloodthirsty.
She has a bloodlust, which she has confessed live on air. Carol, what's in store for us coming up in round number 5?
Okay, we can wait. We don't know yet what map is going to be, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Bermuda. I'm pretty sure, John. But we can wait great things from different kinds of teams, especially, like I said before, INTZ and Cruzeiro, because they are this close to take the top of SS Esports.
We shall find out what the map is. I think Carol already knows. And, well, I'm afraid to say, for the 5th time today, she's got it completely wrong. Our ex-professional player has failed.
Sorry,
yet
guys.
Again.
Okay, now we are starting Kalahari map, and we still got the SS Sports on the top of the scoreboard with 190 points, followed by INTZ and Cruzeiro on the 30th place, and they are for sure coming heavy and coming loud and coming for SS Sports because they are thirsty to victory.
Our first look is at B4 then, winners of the first bout of action, the first booyah in Purgatory.
Oh yeah.
God, very, very spread out, as he is, of course. normally, anyway.
Yeah, like I said before, there's kind of three different styles of game, and maybe God they are using the one that is two players in one side and the other two players in the other side, so they are splitting and getting loots, and then after they are going to regroup. But talking about once more about before, we got Kawelok on the team, and he got the highest point kills from last season on Kalahari map.
Santos, as ever, going for the high ground, going for those sniping positions.
And that works really good for them, right?
It's been very effective. Well, this is interesting. First time we've seen the kind of lift, sky lift being used to get yourself around. And Ruan DRX, very, very mobile.
It's not even a full moon.
There you go. Why not pop into a car, but a long way from his teammates. All Santos, 12 sides, 48 players, round 5 of today's action. And,
wow.
Well, this is possibly not... There you go, zooming in, ready to get with the Loud teammates, and we're going to get our first kill on the board. We do already. Loud and Will gets the honour of being the kill leader with just the one kill, of course, but they all count.
Yeah, and also Loud, they are doing more an aggressive game this last matches, because on the first matches of today, they were a little bit quiet, they were avoiding the battles, but now they are coming aggressive and they are thirsty for kill points.
And maybe Loud about to pull off a flanking action here. Players are dropping down also very quickly. Metagaming in a bit of trouble. Loud are down to 3 as well.
Sadly,
early casualties.
Yeah, sadly they already lost Kawan, who was the MVP from last season, and he's on the run from the MVP this season as well. He got a really great kill points for Loud so far.
Loud putting in the pressure. Metagaming on the back foot here. Metagaming might be heading to the lobby very quickly if they're not careful. I think it could be over for them though, unless they can get themselves out of trouble. Down to 1, and it might be down to 0 in a few seconds, because Loud are pushing. They can sense blood.
Even though there is only one player alive, I don't doubt of this guy's capacity, but it's always a disadvantage.
Oh, there you go. Out they go. You're talking about his capacity. His capacity to die is what's happened. And some celebrations,
yeah.
Samba style.
A very Brazilian style. I like this kind of celebrations because they show the other team their adversity, that who they are, you know, and they are the master of the call.
But I imagine quite a few players have actually been sent back to the lobby in mid-celebration.
And if I'm back to the lobby and I'm watching the celebration, I would be very furious. I would be like, oh no, I don't like this guy at all. I'm gonna kill him the next match.
It is a wind-up before exposed here. Down comes some impressive firepower, but took a nick as well with the shots. And got winners of the last Booyah. Surprising many, but looking impressive. They can spot the targets. They've got this very, very good position on the high ground.
Yeah, they are trying to find the red spot where you can actually have sure that there is a player over there, but I don't think they found it.
Taking pot shots where you think players might be as well, and hoping that the player sticks his, and it is his in this Brazilian fight. They stick their head up and get it taken off.
And we get a headshot, which is my favorite thing. After grenade launch, I may say after grenade launch, because I really think the kills by grenade launch, they are awesome. I get so sassy about that.
And this is a good place to be, but if you get surrounded, there's nowhere to go. This is the big problem with this kind of semi kind of building, this iron construction.
Look at the little pet. Isn't that so cute?
Shake of the head, all wrapped up. B4
I'm
on
pretty
the move.
sure. I'm pretty sure Team Liquid is spotting B4, but they are, waiting until they are in the out, so they can get the shots right.
And certainly B4 know where Team Liquid are, that's for sure.
Yep.
Oh, they are waiting, keeping the heads down, waiting for the right moment. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, and they are not moving because on this time it's extremely important to remain in silence because you can hear the other players' steps. So they remain in silence to hear and listen to everything around them.
Team coordination, keeping the heads down. There's a quick look and down, quick look and down.
He's trying to get some information.
Maybe trying to attract a shot or two as well.
He should be careful, or otherwise he's going to get a red shot.
And Power 7's been active. We've seen this player quite a lot in these first 5 matches. And it's all gone so very, very quiet in Kalahari as teams just watch and wait and listen.
There's INTZ. It's INTZ really like to be on the high grounds as well because a lot of them use the sniper rifle, which help them a lot to get more damage against the other teams.
Well, the map is saying danger, the big orange circle.
Maybe it's a sign.
Sign for some of these sides here to be very, very careful. The kill ratio so far pretty low in this 5th map of the day. One more to come. Everybody cautious because they know what's at stake. Certainly at the top of the table.
And it is very interesting how Santos use the same game style in this map, Kalahari, especially this map. They always are 3 on the bottom and 1 on the top. And the one who is in the top, he's always got a sniper rifle.
Open ground, up comes the glue walls. Not a good place to be in. And INTZ have their backs into not a great position. Santos stretched here, but probing, really, trying to get some reaction from INTZ.
Yeah, but I don't get Santos. They are so distant of each other. And as we can see here, INTZ, even though they are on the bottom, they are together. So when you have the advantage to have more players against 1 or 2, you take them down.
Maybe Santos trying to throw INTZ some bait. But that's not promising, is it, for those 2 Santos players there?
Yep.
High ground they've got.
And we see Cruzeiro coming up as well. Right behind of INTZ. Maybe they are going to join the party. And they are on the run from the top of the scoreboard.
And SS Esports coming in for a bit of hammer here. They made a bit of recovery in game 4. But it's been pretty tragic for the leaders this afternoon. Need a half-decent showing in the next 2, in this one and the final game of the afternoon, just to keep them top of the league, get some points, and they might just survive as leaders. Also for their confidence as well as we look at Fluxo.
And we got to hear Fluxo Japa BKR. He is the captain of the team. He is the man who gives the calls.
SS Esports took to the motorized version of getting around this map. Got away with it as well. Still only one side has gone out, but the kills now are starting to rain, and Cruzeiro were under a bit of a cosh there. These two sides, INTZ and Cruzeiro, vying for that top spot. Trying to knock Esports off the leadership.
Oh my God! God took almost all the players from Cruzeiro's down. They sent most of them back to the lobby. That's some surprise.
God coming on strong. Red Kalunga getting a bit of hammer down there as well. High positioning again from Pain Gaming, who are about to lob a lot of artillery down there. That was very, very effective stuff. Two players went out. That's how you use those grenades.
Exactly. They use perfectly the grenades.
A long throwing distance as well.
Mm-hmm.
Defying the laws of science, which Free Fire does, because if you fire a shot off, there's no chance that that shot will dip. The shot will go straight and true, however far your opponent is away.
And look who's coming to join the party. It's the Fluxo team.
Pressing forward. And aggressive stuff
Wow.
from Fluxo. Moving forward, and Pain on the back foot. You've got a Red Kalunga man right at the bottom as well. And bodies starting to fall down here very quickly. Quick double kill. As players, if you're out at the top there, once you get surrounded, you've got to get out the way quickly, and that is sometimes a major problem. Still the action starting to build slowly. God took the last one. Go Cruzeiro. That's a bad game for them.
Yep, it is. Uh-oh, grenade launcher. For me, grenade launcher is the victory. They got the victory.
The taste of victory down to 10 sides. Cruzeiro now going out. Before what we're looking at as we switch to Team Liquid, it's also very compact. The
Oh my
body count
gosh.
is going to start to go up here quickly, and Team Liquid almost down.
There's so much going on here, John. We have to
is.
keep an eye.
It is just a mess as well. INTZ, have they gone as well? Down to 9, so some of the big names are crashing out of here quickly. And that's good news. Very good news for SS Esports, who are still in the mix. And their opponents, their direct opponents below them, have gone. So it looks like SS Esports.
They are sharing the same house before in Team Liquid.
That's not going to be the case for long.
I don't think
As
so.
a loud crash out. And Pain Gaming also go fast and furious here late on in this match. And just look at this Pain being given out with this
Wow.
powerful attacking display. Team Liquid looking good. 6 kills. Still a long way to go.
Oh, wow.
And before they've also gone, this is all great news for SS Esports.
Yes, it is. And if I'm not mistaken, Cruzeiro and INTZ, they are already back to the lobby.
They are.
Oh,
They've gone.
Wow. SS Sports, this is good news.
Very good news for them. They're going to stay top, at least for this round.
Mm-hmm.
The safe zone starting to disappear extremely quickly as the shots rain in. Those
Uh-oh.
ice walls not as good as they used to be. Get the right equipment and you can get those double kills. And SS Esports, they've gone as well. But I think
Yay.
they're going to stay top of the league.
Kill points for grenade launcher.
Your favourite or weapon of choice.
Yes, indeed.
And, God, they have gone. We're going to get a new Booyah winner here. It's going to be 5 games, 5 different winners, but who will it be?
We got now Team Liquid against Santos. It's now the time for Pele starting to be happy.
A Santos crash out. It's not going to be them. Well, Santos, in fact, there it is. As
Triple kill.
kills are mounting up. The Booyah is close. Santos pressing forward here.
Kill.
And the kill is mounting up. Red Kalunga really in a dodgy situation. Surely it's going to be Santos. And there you go. Booyah! Number 5 Santos.
Wow, that was a great booyah for Santos Hot Forex Esports. They really managed to do a really good. And actually, I noticed that the only player alive from Red Canids, Red Kalunga, was Wanheda, and last season he did that a lot. And last season he was in one match he was the only one alive, and he took the booyah home. So I was a little worried for Santos.
Not on this occasion. Santos coming up. We've had 5 different games. We've had 5 different winners. This is the Brazilian Free Fire League. All to play for. Anybody's game. We're going to look at the table in just a second. But this afternoon, just to recap, before Cruzeiro, INTZ, God, and now Santos have all taken booyahs.
Yep.
Will we get a 6th different winner? We shall find out very, very short with a 6th and final game of the afternoon, which will be Kalahari, and that is coming up. But Carol, surprises all the way through here this afternoon. No side has dominated, unlike Saturday's games when we had one clear team, SS Esports, who are getting a little bit better in the last 2 bouts of action, but still nowhere near as good as they were before.
Yeah, and because of that, because of the better game from the last match, SS Sport, they probably going to remain in the first place in the top. But Santos did a really good job here on this last match, and they scored 21 points for the first place, followed by Team Liquid with 18 points in the second place. Team Liquid played very well, really very well, and followed by God with 11 points, and then Red Kalunga 10 points because of Wanheda, who remained alive until the very late states, and followed by in the 5th place B4 with 9 points and SS Sports with 7 points, which is going to help them to have a little bit more of difference between the 2nd and the 3rd place. And the MVP of this match was Fon with 5 points, 5 points kills, and he's from Santos Hot Forex team.
Some of the best moments then, as we check out the rest of the scoring. And again, with SS Esports not doing that well really, but getting more points than the sides below them, it's looking good for them. They're going to say top, because INTZ only got 3, Cruzeiro nothing.
Not even a single point, sadly, for Cruzeiro, who was on the run to get to take the top from SS Sports. They got 0 points this. But INTZ probably is going to remain in the 2nd place because they got 3 points. And Metagaming, who came from the Serie B, 1 point. Fluxo team 5 points. Loud in the 8th place with 7 points, and Pain Gaming with 7 points as well. It's good for Pain Game to get more points, and I hope they do in the next match, because they are on the bottom with Red Kalungas. And John, I want to dedicate this booyah to my dad, because he's a really huge fan of Santos. No, really, he's a huge fan of Santos in the soccer, but he keep asking me about Santos in this competition. So Dad, this one is for you.
Well, Santos then winners of game number 5. We've got one more exciting match coming up very, very shortly. 5 games so far, 5 different winners. Nobody has really taken this tournament so far by the scruff of the neck this afternoon. It's been anybody's battle, and it could be anybody's booyah in game number 6, which is coming up very, very shortly. And we'll be heading to where, at old Bombshell?
Kalahari?
Possibly not.
Bermuda for sure. And John, because we got already 5 matches and 5 different teams that got a booyah in these matches, we only have more 7 teams to do booyah in this last match. So we got a lot of expectations, but also we are betting on the teams that already got a booyah this day.
And maybe this time one of those sides, before Cruzeiro, INTZ, God, Santos, maybe one of those teams can get a second booyah. Maybe this is going to be the moment when SS Esports again bounce back and get a booyah for the first time here this afternoon in the second round of the Brazilian football. Brazilian football? No, we've got Santos, we've got Cruzeiro, Brazilian Free Fire League. Confirmation then that they are still top dogs and looking like they're going to retain that unless there's a complete disaster and a wonderful showing from Loud or INTZ or Cruzeiro. But SS Esports looking in a very strong position there.
Yes, indeed, John. SS Sports is still with on the top with 126 points, and surprisingly, Loud is in the second place with 99 points, followed by INTZ with 1 point difference, which is very good to Loud. They are doing really good today. They changed their game. They are very aggressive right now, and they have anything and everything to win the next match.
That's better. That's one is going to come up very shortly. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back for the final round of the afternoon.
Please stay with us.
Welcome back to the Brazilian Free Fire League. It's Battle Royale. Number 6, the final one coming up at the afternoon. 5 different winners, Carol Bombshell. We're going to switch to the game very shortly. Your prediction, are we going to get a 6 different winner, or is it going to be someone from B4, Cruzeiro, INTZ, God, or Santos to take a second booyah this afternoon?
I think we're going to have a double booyah from these past teams. They already got a booyah, so there's a lot of expectations on Cruzeiro. I mean, the past match, they didn't do quite well, but still, they are very aggressive. But also, B4 team, they are really good today. Oh well. But let's talk about Loud really quickly before the start. They have great chance to take this Booyah right now in Bermuda.
Same order then from the first 3 mats, Purgatory, Kalahari, Bermuda, and we've had a repeat pattern, although the games are drawn up at random, just happens to be the same pattern of the games again. So, Carol Bombshell, you are going for one of these teams to get a second Booyah. Put your money where your mouth is. Who is going to grab it?
Probably Loud. As I was saying, the Loud team, they did a couple of changes on their team this season. And we can, I mean, it's true. Oh,
Early action right at the start. And, well, there you go. First player's gone within seconds. That is
New kill leader.
Nicholas from Metagaming. Metagaming is one of those sides who've been quiet. Sometimes getting the first kill is not always the best thing, because you tell everybody where you are. That's the first thing. Red Kalunga very stretched as we switch over to Santos. Santos in for a bit of a free fire fight here. But Santos, though, could be in a bit of trouble early on. They don't want to go down. They've just won the last Booyah. They want to continue in this fight, stay alive. They've got 2 players out already.
Yep, and once more we can see battle against Team Liquid and Santos.
Kill leader.
And they got a Booyah. Oh, sorry, they got a victory over Team Liquid because they said, this is our cow, and that's what we came for. Please, leave.
Santos digging in, showing them who's boss.
There's still 1 player alive from Team Liquid.
Who I've got a feeling is going to be heading to the lobby very quickly, joining his chums. Watching, sitting this one out. He's on the run.
Ooh.
Santos could be closing in for the kill, but they may
Yeah.
let him go.
Yeah, and here we got Meta Gaming, who was going against Red Canids, who's probably already in the lobby. Now they are going against B4, which is very dangerous because B4 has been doing so good so far. So let's see what we can wait.
Shut down.
Well, it's curtains for our first side.
And Team Liquid is back to the lobby. Santos got the last player.
Disappointing for Team Liquid then
Yep.
in this game number 6.
And today is the very first day they are playing, but now is the end for them.
Loud a bit spread out, but laying down some firepower as they try to regroup. And INTZ and a bit of difficulties here. 2 quick kills. INTZ, we're going to cross out these names, cross out the Booyah winners from the previous rounds as they head back to the lobby. INTZ looking like they could be in real trouble here as Loud pressing forward. Up comes the ice walls, but it might not be good enough because there you go, you can fire through them with some super powered rifles, and INTZ are trying to fight back, but down to 1 player already. And Loud, well, they go in for the kill, but they're down for 2 as well, so teams falling quickly here in the 6th game.
There's still 1 more player alive from the INTZ and 2 players against the INTZ.
Will Loud press forward.
As we are talking about, it's really bad if you lose a player early on the game because that can change a lot on your game, you know. And Loud, they are doing really good. I actually said Loud is gonna take the Booyah this time, but sorry guys. It's going to be, they are going to have a little bit of hard time to get the Booyah with only 2 players.
INTZ just trying to and failing as they crash out. So that's one of the Booyahs gone very, very early on, and Loud down to 2, but rubbing it in a little bit. So one of the Booyah winners has gone.
Yep.
Already.
It's not the time for INTZ for a double Booyah.
They're out of the picture. 2 sides have gone. Team Liquid the first. crossing off those Booyah winners.
Before also lost one of their most valuable players, Kawelok, who is actually now on a run to get the MVP trophy this season. So let's see if they can manage to do with one less player on their team.
I wonder if this is the moment for SS Esports. I've been improving the last two drops.
Yeah, in SS Sports, actually, they only got 3 players alive.
So maybe not. Maybe the kiss of death for them as well.
They're going to have a hard time, but it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Loud down to 2, but 4 kills on the board. 2 teams out. Final battle royale of the day.
It is the last match, and we got a lot of expectations on the teams that already got a booyah, so who's your bet?
Well, I just said SS Esports may have been the one for me, but you step it down to 3. Doesn't rule them out, of course. Santos on the move, looking and lurking.
Santos already got 4 points for killing, and they have the 4 members alive, so they got great chance. Because of the past match, they got a booyah. Now they are feeling confident, so this is going to help them. On the contrary, Pain Gaming, they already lost one of their players, and they are not very good today. Today is not a day for them, especially because it is their first day. They needed to get more points. And something very interesting about Pain Gaming actually is that they got the lowest age average of the competition. And now they brought the player from SS team from the previous season, Antunes, who is probably the oldest of the team. He got 21 years old.
On that side then, with an average age of 14. That must be a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on those young players.
He's just a baby with 14 years old, and the oldest players now is with 21 years old, so it's a lot of difference between them.
The granddad of the side.
For sure. But actually, Antunes, he comes to ensure great results this season for Pain Gaming, but not so far.
Final game of the afternoon. Still 2 teams in it. Hearing lots of grunting going on.
Yeah, it looks like Loud, they are trying to avoid a battle against God because they only got 2 players and they don't want it to be in a bad position, but God is not forgiving them.
God on the move. Omnipresent. And Loud feeling the pressure here. Coming under some heavy gunfire, and it could be a quick adios to Loud if they're not very careful, and they've gone. That was inevitable.
Which is very funny because they are inside of the unsafe zone, which takes a lot of their blood, but also they know that it's more important to score points by killing the other team and send them back to the lobby than to be in the unsafe zone.
Oh God, then fully kitted up, taking what they can, when they can.
And Fluxo team is already, it's also inside of the unsafe zone, which is okay. It's a okay strategy because, and Red Kalunga as well. God, Fluxo team and Red Kalunga team, they are inside of the unsafe zone, which is okay. On the early stages of the game because the unsafe zone don't take a lot of blood, but if you stay longer you can go straight to the lob.
Got a feeling that Flux will be moving very quickly into the safe zone. Santos to the right. Meta Gaming have been quite, although we've got 3 kills on the board. Again, SS Esports have been keeping their heads down. Likewise before. INTZ, one of the Booyah winners, they've gone out. And Fluxo then...
They are rotating by car, which is good and not good because they are showing their position to the other teams, and they this is actually the fastest car in the competition, but also if you have the strategy to explode the car, you can easily kill the players.
Well, they got away with that maneuver.
And they are inside of the safe zone, so that's okay, that's good. And they still got the cars to move to the next safe zone.
SS Esports looking a little bit worried because they've got Fluxo to one side, Cruzeiro looking down at the bottom.
And they are getting ready to call for some drops to get new and valuable equipment.
Which could leave them exposed when they go to pick up the loot.
Definitely.
Metagame also lurking in the vicinity. And SS Esports have improved in the last two bouts, but have already lost a player.
It's going to be to give them a very hard time to get a Booyah today. So my opinion is they have no chance to get a Booyah today. Maybe if I'm saying that, they're going to have to get a Booyah. So
that's exactly what I was thinking. Well, the drop came and they survived without any further problems. So far, at least. Game number 6 of the day has gone just a little bit quiet. Big news is that INTZ have crashed out one of the Booyah winners, but the other 4 winners are still there.
And Red Kalunga here, they are doing a different style of game that I don't really get it, because they are in a very long distance, but also inside of the safe zone. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the best strategy.
They really are spread out, Red Kalunga. And I wonder if I think God has spotted that, maybe Santos as well. Could be easy prey. Cruzeiro, no movement from them.
And that was definitely a trick zone. The new safe zone is very tricky now, because Santos was inside of the safe zone in the middle actually, but then it got all the way up. And probably, I don't know, God is going to face off Santos.
Santos, as ever, getting the high ground and then waiting for the opposition to arrive. Santos, that strategy worked for them in the last battle.
But they are not safe anymore. Now they have to go to the safe zone, which is going to change their game a little bit.
And God racing forward. 2 kills for them.
Something is for sure. They already got 4 points.
And SS Esports caught out in the open here. This is going to be grim news for them. Not where they wanted to be caught. And Fluxo need to rain down the firepower quickly, because SS Esports were there for the taking momentarily.
And actually, if SS Sports wants to go inside of the safe zone, they have to go over Fluxo team. So this is going to be very interesting, because it's 4 against 3.
And it's tactical, isn't it? You get that position inside the safe zone. It means that teams on the edges, teams on the outside, eventually have to head towards you.
Yep, that's what happened with God and Loud the last battle.
The God and Before about to exchange a few shells here. Maybe a few grenades thrown in as well for good luck. And the bullets are flying. God and Before going head to head. 2 of the winners of Booyahs this afternoon, and one of those sides might be going up because Meta are getting involved, and you can see here besides Santos and Payne also raining in the pain from a different angle, so maybe both these sides might be crushed out, and Red Kalunga have gone. That was a kind of a triple sandwich. And God, they've also gone another winner because we saw the other teams on the periphery firing at will. I'm surprised that B4 managed to get away with that one as well. Down to 7 sides. Final game of the afternoon. Santos is still there. Santos, the winners of the last Booyah.
That's what happened when you decided to go in a battle out in the open.
And SS Esports, they've gone as well. So no Booyah for them today. 3 in our opener. Nothing this afternoon. Santos then. Santos looking strong. Got Meta to one side before down by a lot of players. Well, Santos then, are they going to do it? Are they going to take the Booyah? Will they become only the team with 2 Booyahs? But Santos running into a bit of trouble, but piling down the pain, but not what they were expecting. Their Metagaming looking strong. Metagaming may be the winner of this final Booyah. The 6th name to take a Booyah, but they've got to see of Santos and they are pressing. They've got 6 kills on the board, Meta. And Santos on the back foot here. Santos not expecting this. Expecting to walk through against Meta, but Meta putting up some stiff resistance, and Santos have gone. The winners of the last Booyah, they've also gone. Metagaming as well gone down, and Cruzeiro another side. So by my calculations, only B4 remain of the other winners. And are they going to sneak in and take it? Fluxo now piling on the pressure.
Wow.
Down to 4 sides. We saw a flash there. I missed who it was who's gone. Cruzeiro are gone. B4 have 1 player. And Fluxo looking strong. Fluxo, you've got to say the money has to be on them to take this on. Triple kill for them. I've got a feeling that Fluxo are going to make Booyah number 6. They're going to be 6 different names here this afternoon. However, who knows? B4 under pressure. B4 down to 1. And out goes the grenades. All eyes on Cruzeiro, all eyes on B4, but Fluxo are pressing forward. And with the kill count mounting up here very quickly, we're going to get a quick end. Out goes B4. We're going to have a new winner here, whatever happens. And Booyah! Fluxo!
Wow. These guys must be so happy at home right now. Finally, Fluxo got a Booyah, John.
Great stuff from Fluxo. The winners of previous Booyahs slowly went out of the window. INTZ went out first.
And I gotta say, this is a new team in the FFBL. They came also from the scratch. And it is a new team, a new project of the influencer and player No Brew with the influencer and streamer Cero. Everyone was expecting great things from them because they are actually one of the favorites.
Well, Fluxo then producing here finally. So, a quick recap of the winners. 6 bouts, 6 different winners starting before. Cruzeiro, INTZ, God, Santos. They all fell by the wayside in this final 6th game, and Fluxo became team number 6 to get a Booyah this afternoon. So, no one dominating, lots of different sides who are pressing claims, all to play for in the league.
Yes, and we didn't have a double Booyah today, John. We didn't have any sequences of Booyah, which seems very fair. But actually, we like to see, the difference in the scoreboard. We like to see the players fighting for it, getting hungry to the victory. But that's exactly what Fluxo did. Now, they got a Booyah in their baggage, and I'm pretty sure next week they are coming hungry as well.
We shall say. We've got Fluxo then taking the final Booyah of the afternoon. SS Esports, as we shall see in a couple of moments, will be top dogs for the week. They suffered big time. Really, SS Esports after looking so impressive on yesterday's opening round. Not quite the same, no Booyahs for SS Esports. They'll stay top, but they can see, as we can see now, that there's plenty of competition in this Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yes, and we can see the replays of the best moments we see on the very first place who got the Booyah is Fluxo team with 19 points. It's okay. It's good points. And Cruzeiro Esports, who maybe got a better position now over Loud or INTZ, because they were in the fourth place. They got 15 points now, followed by Metagaming, who came all the way from Serie B, and I'm gonna keep saying that because this is a victory for them. They are playing the Serie A, you know, and they got the 30th place, the top 3 with 13 points, followed by Pain Gaming finally, who is in the bottom, followed by B4 in the 50th place with 10 points, and Santos Esports, who was the last winner from the last match with 9 points in the 6th place. And the MVP of this match was God Q with 5 Q points, and he's from Fluxo team. Great job, guys.
Fluxo then taking the final Booyah of the afternoon.
And here we see the top team on the scoreboard, which is SS Sport with 7 points on this match, and in the 8th place, God with 6 points, Loud with 5 points, Red Kalunga 2 points, INTZ 2 points, and Team Liquid 0 points.
So SS Esports then just managing to pick up not exactly a massive haul in the last 3 games, but getting more points mostly than the sides below them. So SS Esports, when we see the league table very shortly.
I gotta say that God Q, it is the very first time he's playing FFPL, so about him and the Sayas from Fluxo team, it's the very first time they're playing the FFPL, but they are very known in the competitive scenario, you know, so they got this experience. That's what I said to you, John. So if someone's spotting you, they know you have the talent and the power to be in this kind of competition.
The final Booyah then in the afternoon has gone to Fluxo. 6 games, 6 different winners. A lot of talent out there, a lot of bloodshed, which Carol Bombshell really appreciates. He loves that kind of stuff. Great stuff from the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Yeah.
Nobody dominating, a lot of teams, a lot of talent. And this championship, as we'll look at the table in just a few seconds, is very, very open. But SS Esports will go in at the end of the first week as leaders.
Yep, sure indeed. And maybe today was not the day for them, but maybe next week they will, you know, fix some mistakes. They will get more ready. They will, you know, practice, because it's important to say they got to practice every day. So this week they have all the time to practice. And now we can see the Booyahs from the day. In the very first match, Purgatory map, we got B14. In the second one, Kalahari map, Cruzeiro Esports. In the 30th match, Bermuda, we got INTZ. In the 40th match, Purgatory again, God. And the 5th match, Kalahari map, Santos Esports. And the last one, Bermuda, we just saw Fluxo team get the Booyah.
So good stuff then this afternoon. Second round of the Brazilian Free Fire League. 6 different winners. A lot of action, a lot of skills out there. The league wide open, but SS Esports, so the team to beat still, even though they did not have a great afternoon. They were trailblazers in round 1. As we look at the best highlights of the day, really.
With the individuals kill points, we got in the first place Will from Loud team with 12 points by killing, and General from God in the second place with 11 points, and followed by Noda from Loud as well with 10 points. It's a very good day for Loud. They got most part of the killings
without taking a Booyah, which is interesting stuff from Loud.
Which is very important, even with the change of the killing system, the kill point system. It's good to see these guys doing a lot of kill points, you know. And here we got the MVP competition going on here with MTS in the first place, followed by Will from Loud, Maxwell from SS Sports, followed by B4 Pound Player, which means bread. And the last one is Kawan, who was the MVP from last season.
Kill leaders chart, the golden boot of the killing spree. Action then this afternoon from round 2 of the Brazilian Free Fire League. Just waiting for confirmation of the table as it stands. Pretty certain it's going to be SS Esports who are there, despite not getting a single booyah this afternoon. They were made to suffer. They were made to work really, really hard. But SS Esports, not quite the terrific stuff we saw when they went a record-breaking 3 straight booyahs in a row in round 1. And there you go. Still leaders, but teams below them now into 3 figures.
Yeah, which is very funny. In the second, third, and the fourth place, we got Cruzeiro, Loud, and INTZ, and they were in dispute for this place, and they are coming for SS Sports, but they are a little bit too far from the points because SS remain on the top with 133 points. That's very good for them. Also, it's very good for Fluxo team, who's now in the top 6 with 87 points, followed by God in the 8th position, and Santos, who is now in this side of the board, and Team Liquid in the 10th position with 47 points. Unfortunately, we got on the bottom, the very bottom, Pain Gaming and Red Kalunga.
Let's not forget 2 teams go down to the second division. We will be back next Saturday and Sunday with rounds 3 and 4 from the Brazilian League. Just to confirm, well, it's going to be teams from Group B and Group C going head to head on the Saturday, and then Group B, Group A on the Sunday. Exciting stuff to come. Now that's it then for us. Great stuff. 6 teams here winning 6 different booths. It's a very, very open league. Until next week, from Carol Bombshell, I'm me, Johnny Cougar. Join us next time round on the Brazilian Free Fire League.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching us, and we waited. You can be here with us the next week. We see you.
Until then.